Hello again. Well, I don't know if it's this computer or me or the internet or what. It's taken about 5 minutes before it's loaded, and it's saying that it couldn't use a camera because it was being used by another application. And I know that's not the case. Well, not by me anyway. Um, I don't really want to be too long, but I was watching. Hi, INFJ. That was quick. Are you next door or something? It's good to read you. Hope all is good in your world. The chase. I was watching Paul on the streets, and you know he was saying some good stuff. In fact, well, they're all saying good stuff um, with regard to the chase. But watching on Greg's, it seemed like we've gone backwards. Everybody was sort of um, talking about negative things instead of positive things. So it's a bit weird. It seemed like gone back in time, listening to that sort of chatter. Anyway, Paul was talking about the spot, finding the spot, going instead of going to an area, going to the spot and having that, which is 100%. You know, I agree with that. It's all about the spot, and Forrest said you could go right straight to it. None of this searching and looking and trying to find something. You would know it before you had to do anything. But I just want to talk about the spot. I put something in chat, and Street sort of said, it should fit on a t-shirt. And I wanted to write more, but I didn't. So I'm going to talk about it now. Hi, Redneck. How you doing? Hope all is good. And yes, I do believe that we're close to finding more answers, real answers. Forrest said, "The treasure's real, the story's real." And I believe at that point where we understand that all is good. He also said, "Show it to a child," which is part of the reasons why I call it ABCs. If you look up the synonyms of ABCs, you'll see some good words, but you know most children learn their ABCs. So, well, depending which country you're in, I suppose. But and it may not be what Forrest was implying, but I'm just saying, starting with your ABCs and then going on from there. But in the book, excuse me, Forrest says his mom was looking out the window waiting for the postman, and obviously there are letters. The postman brings letters, so thinking about the letters. But I wanted to talk about the four letters that are in the word. Hey, MJ, how you doing? Ooh. Hope all is good. The four letters that are in the word spot. So within the chase, it starts pretty much like this. First, you read that Forrest says that happiness is the pot, and the more people that read, the more pots there needs to be. So, for the first word of those four letters of spot, you have the pots that everybody wishes was theirs, their happiness. So each person has their own idea of happiness and their own idea of what the pot is. So your first port of call within the chase is the pots of happiness that each individual would decide on is theirs. So from that word spot, you have your pots of happiness. Then, after you've worked your mind around that, you have your options. You have to choose. You follow the thrill of the chase and you decide which is going to be your solve. So you opt. So each person opts for their pot of happiness and their choice of solve. And each person who knows their pots of happiness and opts for their choice of solve needs it to be the best solve. So it tops all the others. So far we have the word spot 3 times. We have your options, we have your pots, and we have the best solve, the cream of the crop, the one that tops all the others. Now, each person believes that their solve tops all of the others in that it has the spot. So there's your fourth word with those letters SPOT. The whole point of this is for your happiness being the pot, your option being the solve that you chose, the fact that you believe it is the top solve, and it will get you the spot. But it doesn't finish there because nobody knows that you have the top solve that tops the others until it is posted. So you have to post a solve, and the solve has to fit on a post-it note, or should fit on a post-it note. So now you have 5 words from that word spot using those 4 letters. If somebody has done all those things correctly, as Forrest has stated should be the case for it to be a correct solve or a winning solve, then and only then should the spot be posted. This will stop. And by stop, I mean begin. You know, the search, the initial search, the quest, the hunt for answers should stop, and then the real chase begins. Using the word spot and finding a road to travel to bring you to that stop, where hopefully the lights change and they go from the stop, which would be the red light, to the green light, and that would be the end, which is also stop. You stop at the end. So although I feel that the end is going to be the beginning, the person who can best adjust, shift, drift, blah blah blah, movie confidence, all of those things using the options, the OPTS, the spot, using those things could potentially have an ending or a beginning to the chase. Forrest said, if it gets to 10 million, I'm going to take it back, or I could take it back, or whatever the paraphrased words is. And there will be, I'm 100% sure of this. Well, no, because there's always someone. I'm 100% sure of this. There will be nobody in the chase who believes that the chest that Forrest put out there that was worth $1 million or 2 million or whatever, because he never put a price on, or a cost on, or a limit on, whatever it was worth, when Forrest put it out, it would never, ever, 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 and I've said this before, ever reach 10 million. No way. That would never happen. So why did Forrest make that statement? that if it gets to 10 million, he would take it back. So my videos have been about, you don't have to believe a single word I say, not one single word, but you do have to believe Forrest. You have to have faith that everything that Forrest said was helping you to get to the answer, which was your happiness, your pot. Now, Forrest also said, if memory serves me correctly, and everything that I say is all just paraphrase, so don't quote me word for word or letter for letter, a way for everybody to win. That doesn't sound like somebody who has put a chest out for one person to win. And if you can't take it with you, I'm not going. And I'm ambivalent if they find it or not. Or it's up to the finder, the who, and the where. There are bits of information that Forrest gave that should tell people that their answer is not correct. Whilst it will help with the chaos of the chase, which is what Forrest wanted to help, to help in the chaos, those answers should tell people that their soul was incorrect. So either a few things. They're either very greedy and can't see the wood for the trees, or they're playing a part that has to be played. So initially, I wrote Forrest an email saying it's difficult to know, and he said this out, in public, that people didn't give him the answers because they didn't know or trust him. I can't remember how he worded it. I can't remember how I worded it, to be fair, but there was concern that it wasn't what it seemed, which is the case. It's not what it seems. And words don't mean what you think they do. But it was difficult to want to give someone information not fully understanding who was actually receiving the information. And the information that potentially could be given wouldn't have made any difference anyway. So whilst the chase goes on, it should be more friendly, not less friendly. There should be more of a coming together and an understanding that Forrest makes this happen. Forrest does, not us. We help by being the chaos. That's the best we can do. The statement in the book is, again paraphrased, sitting by the juniper fire, wonder if I can make it happen like it's supposed to be, and end up going to a place where even memory has not been. That is not about someone finding a chest. That is way more. And I was talking to Davey and saying you need to try and separate the different answers to similar questions in order to understand that Forrest never talked about the same thing all the time with his answers. So some answers refer to one thing and other answers refer to something else. If you try to put all the answers together about one thing, your head will explode because it doesn't work. Forrest's answers don't all fit to one thing. They fit to different things. So you have to try and separate them in your mind and work out, if you solve the first two clues, you're halfway there. That is different to something else. But you have to separate those questions and those answers. Davey B, woohoo, where memory has not been. Means it has not happened. No, it has not happened. It hasn't happened. And Forrest's statement is, can I make it happen? So the two go together. The fact that Forrest is saying, can I make it happen? And the fact that memory has not been there. So when it happens, and when Forrest has the memory, then Forrest will be there just as much as we will. And that's just an opinion, that's not fact. So working together with Forrest, it's hard to believe that Forrest was doing it alone. There are people. How much those people know, that's hard to say. And that is probably the compartmentalization of the chase. People, and this is what this is really about. People that are not friendly or polite or just rude to other searchers, even if it is to make the chase work, it's still not a nice thing to see or hear. And people who are just rude and have nothing to do with the chase, that is even worse. But I don't see how anybody who does not have the answers. So everybody has a test, everybody gives what they think is the answer. And then, people turn around and say, oh, you're stupid, you are, that can't be the right answer, without actually knowing whether their answer is right or not. Doesn't make sense to me. So it could either be that, that's just the persona that the person has to play, or, that's the person that they are. And the reason I'm saying this is because Paul asked the question, what would you do if you were the solver? And I said I would treat everybody equally. Whilst there are people that I genuinely call my friend, and there are people that talk to and get on with, and there are people that are just plain rude, I would talk to my real friends. I don't know sign language, but I do know these things. So for me, this is M, because this is my M. And for me, this is Y. This is what I gave to Forrest when I wrote him the emails, because this is me. And all my friends are in here with me. And these are the two walls that defend the me and everybody that I trust. And this is the why that says, why is it that I must go? Because that's the important bit. Why is it that I must go? That's the important part of the chase. So here was the why that I was sending Forrest. I didn't tell Forrest this, but this is the why, and this is me in the middle. And anybody that I trust is in this bit with me, and I signed this. So there are people in the chase that have this, that when I write to them, I send this, and that's why. That's why I do that. And I was going to put that on the front of this video, but I changed it to simple ABC. Even a child could understand stuff. Oh, I'm not reading. Hey, Super Bill, how you doing? And why call me Superman? I'm not not that super. Her brother. I don't understand that. I use one finger. I did say that in my first answer, to be fair, when Paul asked, what would you do if you were the solver? I said, give him the finger, but that's not true. What I'm saying is, I would still treat people the same, because we're all in this together, to be fair. And Forrest said, find a way for everyone to win. So hopefully, if everybody worked together, maybe there would have been an answer. Maybe this would have been done, as a joint effort. It's hard to believe that when Forrest talks about the Rolodex, that he hasn't, got all the people that were in the chase and got all their information. And those people that found the answers that he already knew, may be getting something. But he did say, and it seemed like a staged question, but it might not have been. Forrest, what would you suggest the finders do when they find the chest, or something like that? And Forrest said, well, that's up to the finder. I'm not going to make stipulations after the event or something. So, and he also said the who and the where. And it's like these statements are possibly to help, possibly, caught unawares and made them. So they helped more than he wanted, maybe. I don't know. But everything that Forrest did, whilst we never understood it, was designed to help the person that would be the finder, because that's the statement that Forrest made. It's for the finder and not the seeker. So if you're the finder, Forrest was helping you, if you're able to find. And if you're just a searcher and a seeker, then you wouldn't understand. So as the chase goes on, the more you find, the more you understand, the more you know. And just because people don't say nothing doesn't mean they don't know anything. Tigger's here. Hey Tigger, how you doing? Oh, Pirate's not here. Let's see that. He'll probably be around somewhere, or she. I don't know. I know people say it's banned, but hope all is good. I hope you're feeling better now, Tigger. Ah, the Rolodex. I hope so. Yes, you have many a time. Many a time. Hi, Larry. How's it going? And Oksana, if you're there. Yeah, the Rolodex. So Paul said, "What would you do if you were the finder? You were the solver and you got whatever." And I could understand what. Oh, his name's gone out of my head. The little engine. I've forgotten his name. Tyler. He was unsure what Paul was meaning, because it depends what you get. If you get $50, then that trying to spread that around is a little bit difficult. But if you get $5,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 or $1,000,000, or that's what Tyler was trying to say. It depends how much I get, or what I get would depend on what I do with it. So I'm trying to believe that Forrest would have had an idea about making everybody win, or oh yeah, making everybody. That was the sort of statement. Why can't we all just get along? And if everybody wins, that's a good thing. Or Forrest takes it with him. And then it goes on for thousands of years, and we work it out. Or it gets found, awarded, however it ends, and then the promise of new discoveries are in play. And people forget that the bells and the jars are still in play. So if effectively, is that the right word? The chase hasn't ended until those are found, because they are part of the chase, and they may be worth as much as the chest was worth, the original chest, the $1 million. You don't know. They might be worth more than the chest, depending on when they're found. Maybe, I don't know. The fact that they're forest fens may make them worth money anyway. The fact that you find, they're obviously a limited edition. Cody is Bill Cody. Close. Oh, get in there, Bill. Well done. Does that mean that you found the chest and you just put it under your bed for 30 days, and then when you go in your house, you get it from out under your bed? Cody was shot. Maybe. Yep, that's exactly what he said. Cody broke it. It broke the chassis. We get our freedom and we're in a revolution. Everyone wins. Yeah. Yeah. Um, your country at the moment is going through quite a bit, to be fair. And I'm surprised that um, you made it through these. If it's been 4 years, I don't know how many years it's been that Joe Biden's been in power. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird ride that you've had. Although, to be fair, our country's not much better, and I suppose it's probably the same in most countries. The world's changing rapidly, and could change even more rapidly in the future. I respectfully disagree, Mary. The bells and jars are not part of the chase. There's no instructions on how to find them. Is there not? Oh dear, that's a shame. Well, I think in the least, Forrest said out in New Mexico desert or something, buried them so deep, etc. So those are partially instructions, aren't they? They're a little bit of a hint or something, but they are part of the chase because Forrest did it and talked about it within the chase parameters. So whilst it might seem like it's too difficult to find, Forrest did it for a reason, and I wouldn't say used it as part of the chase, but it was within the thrill of the chase book. So I'd say it was part of the chase, and I'd say that Forrest Wattenham found, at some point, even if it is 1,000 years, and then at some point somebody's going to ring a bell, and hopefully he will hear, and I think that will please him. Bison burgers, are they bison burgers or just bison burgers? The bell and jars. Yeah, I think that's just our opinions, Davey. The fact that we think that they should be able to be located is an opinion that we have. It doesn't, unless you go out and get one, you can't 100% say that they can be got. Dithering. Now, does that mean dithering cold, or does that mean dithering you can't make up your mind? If you are dithering cold, then stuff the gas prices, etc., and put the heating up, or wear lots and lots of clothes, preferably your own. Don't go, taking other people's. The shot below the thing we kept to in the revolution shot. Someone's been doing their history. Yeah, that. So the shot heard around the world for me, obviously JFK. There was a program that I was going to watch that I didn't watch, but the trailer for it said that the neck wound was the entrance wound, and the head wound, back of the head wound, was the exit wound. Well, I think I'm not going to harp on about it, but I was really interested in and did study the assassination, but he initially tried to open up his shirt, which means something had already happened. Obviously, Governor Connolly turned around and says they're going to kill us all, which to me made me think he already knew what was going to happen. And instead of just killing JFK, they were going to kill him as well, or all of them. But for the wound to be through the neck, then it had to come from below. almost as if somebody turned around and shot like that. Boom. Because unless JFK was leaning back and the shot was sort of like car level, it would not go through his neck and out through his head. There is no way. For it to go out through your head, it has to come up, it has to go from here upwards. Otherwise, it'll go in your neck and out the back of your neck. So, just weird things that made me think, poor man, poor country. MJ. Yeah, as I've said many times, I had hundreds of souls. I had the souls that everybody talks about, same, not the same soul, but same places, and they're all in the poem that I've talked about. And I've had my own souls, all better than Dave, man from the east. And yes, I did go boots on the ground, and nothing went the way that I expected it to. My stuff went to Holland or somewhere, I can't remember, Germany. Didn't come home with me, until a few weeks after. I fell at, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning because I expected it to be a town. Like when I went to Wyoming, I expected it to be a major airport and a major town, and it wasn't. Didn't have my stuff. Tripped over, cut my fingers. I think I showed you before. I don't know if you can see, but I had a bag in my hand and I couldn't do anything, so I fell like that. And I was walking through thinking, what if these wild animals can smell the blood? I'm going to be a fool walking through the trees and that or whatever. And these animals can smell not only the blood, but the fear that I had because I didn't know, where I was, what I was doing. So yes, I did go boots on the ground. Excuse me. I went to Casper. That's where I went, and that was when I realised this was not a boots on the ground poem. It wasn't at all a boots on the ground poem. You had to know where you were going before you left your house, and you had to go right straight to it. And while I was walking, through I don't even know if I was on private property or not. Initially, through the fields, I thought that chest could be 12 foot from me, and I wouldn't see it. I could walk straight past it, and somebody behind me walking the dog would stumble on it, which is what Forrest said it would, wouldn't happen. So at that point, I was like, "You idiot! You spent all that money, and then all the gold fever that I had just drained out of me." And I thought, even if you found it, Mario, what are you going to do? Put it in your pocket, get on the plane, and go home? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So the gold fever got me over there, and I'll admit that. But that's what made me think, bloody idiot you are. This is not how you do it. This is not what this is about. There's something else. So when I got back home, I started to listen to what Forrest said instead of just thinking about, finding a chest full of gold. So yes, I did go boots on the ground. Yes, I had 100 souls. Excuse me. Yeah, them were the days. I could see it out the window. Yeah, I always wondered why people said that he shot from the book depository when the better shot would have been when he's coming straight down the street of the book depository. But he waited till he turned the corner and went behind the lamppost and the tree and everything that he couldn't see. There's so much in his way. If it was supposed to happen from there, which I don't, for 1 minute believe. But that's what I'm saying, Bill. So if you imagine this is my windshield, the doctor said the bullet wound entered the neck. If the bullet wound entered the neck through the windshield, it would come straight for here. But it came out the top of his head. So it means that the bullet must have been coming up. It couldn't have been coming across. It must have been coming up. So people saying in the grassy knoll, which is up there, would have been a shot down, not a shot up. So there's something not ringing right there. I think maybe the security bloke that's lying in the well in the car, set his gun off and accidentally shot him or something like that. Because no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you can't shoot somebody through the neck and have it come out the top back of the head at a straight shot. It's not going to happen. It's going to go through the neck and out the other side. It's not going to go through the neck and up. And it's certainly not going to come, down into the neck and then go back up. So anyway, I didn't really want to talk about that. No, you get your dogs. Is that what you're called? 2 shooters. I think there's more than 2, but crazy. I'd like to sort of be able to. I said to Yvonne, I'd like to do cold cases. To be fair, I'd like to investigate things that people don't have answers to. Yeah, those evolving solutions. For me, those are the ones that I stayed away from because it either was or it wasn't right. And if you changed, which is what Dave, Man from the East, was doing, then obviously the initial, you're trying to make a solve work, there's less chance of it being correct. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I heard Mario and David will be going on an adventure. Ooh, you did? Well, if you're paying failed attorney, I'm all set for an adventure. As long as all my stuff comes with me. Make sure the airline don't lose my stuff again. Bill's dog Jack found it and he Did you have a good time in America? Well, so I'll try and make this quick. It was a quick time in the sense of the time that I was there, so I just went for one day. So got there late at night, Casper Airport, nobody there, not a soul, only one person cleaning up. Couldn't even see anybody behind the ticket counters or anything. Saw the jet that was there and the bull that was there and stuff. So it was empty, and I thought, what? It was like the Twilight Zone. I was like, what? I was expecting a massive place. Anyway, I got outside. There was nothing outside. Nothing. Not a car. Nothing. Not even the car for the cleaner who was there. And I was stunned. And I looked, expecting to be in a town. Go to the airport, and then you get out, in a town, get a taxi, and go to nothing. I looked, and I could see lights in the distance. Oh man, it was a crazy time. It takes too long to explain everything. I didn't have a bad time, but it wasn't the time that I thought it was going to be. And then when I went to, because I had no clothes or anything, I went to Denver Airport and waited all night. It was cold in Denver Airport, so I was, couldn't sleep because of the cold. And then instead of going from Denver, back home, I had to go to Canada and then get a flight from Canada to there. So it was like 30 something hours of just, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But as I said to David B, there was a young lady there who was crying. Obviously, had a bad time for whatever reason I didn't ask. I gave her some food and a drink. So, maybe all that I went through was to do that, one good deed. She was obviously struggling for some reason, but I don't know what that was. Your soul was in Wyoming too. Cool. I think a lot of people were in Wyoming. But yeah, my soul changed from, one thing to something else. And people, I believe there were 3 shots. Yeah, possibly 3, maybe 4. I'm going for 4, but yeah, 3 definite, 4 maybe. Yeah, yeah, it's a strange world, Tigger. Absolutely, 100% strange world. But the thing is, within that, we have to get along, all of us. It doesn't matter how different we are. Yeah, like I say, but if the shot takes you back into the left, as Kevin Costner said so many times, if you're going back, it's coming from the front, and if you're going to the left, it's coming from the side. But the fact that his head went up means it's coming from. It isn't coming from like straight through. Push you to the left, it must be coming from an angle. So yeah, weird. There is a receipt for the incorrect windshield. Is that for the car? I mean, they cleaned the car and everything. It's like if you want to just admit that you did something wrong, just clean up after yourself. You know what I mean? Get rid of all the evidence in front of everybody. Clean the car, change it so nobody knows anything. Nobody can get any forensics. You know, just admit that you did it and clean it. Yeah, just crazy, crazy stuff. Uh, LGB. Hmm. Oh, I'll think of Linda B. Johnson then, but it's not. Two different things going through my head there. Um, yeah, Connolly was shot, and that's why he turned and says, "They're going to kill us all," which me sounds like you're only supposed to shoot the president. Don't shoot me, you idiot. That's what it sounds like. They're going to kill us all. It's like my first thought was they're trying to kill the president. They hit me. Not they're going to kill us all. But I don't know. 3 shots. What? You showed up naked? Who showed up naked? Me? No. I'd like to meet that person again and find out, how they got on because I was there. I don't know, nearly 15 hours probably, long time. No, it might not have been that long, but a long time. And she was there before I was there, and she was there after I left. So I don't know if she was actually getting a flight or was just in the airport or what, or somebody she'd seen somebody off or whatever it was. I don't know, but I felt sorry for. She was only young. I felt sorry for her, and I would have done the same if it was a bloke. If somebody's in that much distress, and I didn't want to make it worse by asking loads of questions. Moving moons, carbon top. So, well, the first shot apparently was supposed to have missed the car and hit the curb. So, you know, and also the fact that you're not telling me in 1963 when, in Texas, in, it's not a rundown town where lots of, I don't know what the words are, grottos are, are they grottos? Yeah. They're not poor people. You're not telling me that all the people there, they relied on one piece of video evidence. No flipping way. I bet there was tons. I bet there was tons of video evidence that they didn't want people to see. So there's a Brugger film, became the one. It's like no, it's crazy. The stuff that happened that day, it was in my birth year as well, so I think that might be a reason why I'm interested. But the Warren Commission was a joke. Just I don't know. I don't know how people get away with it. I just don't know how people get away with it. Excuse me. Yeah, they just did everything wrong. Considering it was the president of the United States, they did not try to get the correct answer. So it seemed like they already had an answer, and that was the answer that was going to play out. No matter what the information was, the magic bullet and all that stuff, it's like, come on, just crazy. But over there, you have the whatever it is, freedom of information. I know you have the FOIAs, but you have like it goes so long and then it has to be public. So now you should know. Mind you, it will be redacted and changed now. But now you should know, shouldn't you? Isn't it time that the public knew whatever it was? One shot hit top rear windshield. Yeah, it almost sounds like what do you call them? We call it SAS. You call them SWAT. No SWAT. It's SWAT. SWAT is more police, isn't it? It would be like the army version of SWAT, I suppose. It seemed like that's how it was done. The elite, crossfire. Somebody was, somebody would be able to get him. It was meant to happen that he had to die on that day. He wasn't going to, leave that place alive. And that's the sad thing about it. It wasn't one person trying to kill him. It was it seems like the government, not just someone out for revenge or someone who didn't believe in his politics. Why is that? MJ, why is there's no way I would fly this holiday season? 2050? Is it 10 to 9 there? Oh, that's when it's released. 2050? Wow. It's already been 60 years, isn't it? Well, it has to be 60 years because that's how old I am. So it has to be 60 years. It's already been 60 years and it won't be done till then. Yeah, that's just crazy. Crazy, crazy. But somebody said that, and this gives it away, to be fair, that they they made a special effort to get the book that swears you in. Don't forget the book. It's like, what? It's crazy. Just tell everybody that you did it. Or that they didn't have the book. Something, one or the other. I can't remember how it went. It was a long time ago that I did it. But yeah, something about the book that wasn't there or they purposely planned to have it there. Normally it should be there, apparently. Has to be on hand just in case. Or they did that since that day, something or other. Yeah, he was sworn in a bit too quick for me. The whole thing was a bit too quick for me. Getting rid of the evidence was too quick. Flying him to the wrong sort of place. Just, nah, sorry. You just admit that you did it and that's it. And then you covered it up with the Warren Commission and but the thing is, the bullet that did actually kill Kennedy must have been there somewhere. Must have been. Now I know that Jackie, went to the back to try and grab his brain. Whether it's still, all part of it, I don't know. But there's no way the doctors, if it was still lodged in, it wasn't still lodged in the brain because it can't, his head's shattered. But I don't know. It's just Uh-oh, I froze. It's just crazy and upsetting. And there was no need for it, just to make money and just to have wars and just to try and run the world. Oh, right, thanks, INFJ. Then something wasn't right. Something was planned that didn't go right, or something wasn't planned that should have been done. But something was amiss. They needed Judge Judy. She'd have sorted them out at the Warren Commission. She'd have flipping sorted it all out. Bill, you have relatives all over the world. I don't know about that, Tigger, but the world has changed. It's my political view is if somebody comes along that says these are my views, this is how I think things should be done, but I'm prepared to concede that the other party's views, this, and this, may help it work a little better. When somebody could admit that they can't be 100% right, that their way is definitely going to work, I may be more inclined to listen, because it's not always the case that one way is the right way. Sometimes a blend of something makes it work a lot better. Uh-oh. Not going to go down that road. Um, but again, it's possible. Oh, right, I didn't know that. I mean, from my recollection, they tried to save him, so he wasn't dead. You get conflicting things, but they're saying that they tried to save him. It's like, wow. Um, yeah, that's the funny thing, that it disappeared. It's like only high-ranking officials can make something that important disappear. There is no way. There is no way on this earth that something as important as that can just disappear. No way. So it was meant to, like I say, everything was planned and it was meant to happen, and he was never going to leave that place alive. Whatever happened, I bet there was a backup. If it had got to, what do you call it? The bridge, um, underpass, whatever you want to call it, whatever you call it. If it had got to that point, I bet there would have been a backup. I absolutely believe there would have been somebody there. Um, and possibly somebody in the hospital, just in case. I don't know why I'm James's laugh, because Bill has lots of relatives. Bill, you're English, or whatever your family roots are. Not most, but some people in America now, they came from England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, whatever. Initially, so I know you kicked us out, but still English, some of you. Five's here. Hey, hi Five. Why have my chase notifs stopped? Good thing I don't know. I haven't stopped them. Good to have you here, Five. Good to see you again, because I only said to David not so long ago that your young lady must have been, keeping under wraps, because I haven't seen you for a while. So, good that you're out and about. You came into streets the other day, but I didn't have to go, but I thought I'd go and see Ben and Ashley. It was 2 a.m., so I thought I'd go and see them, share the love, and then go bed. Yeah, it's almost like you're going back to the Civil War, the South and the North. Hi, Sophia. How you doing? Of course they did. Johnson, Texas. Oh, don't be like that. But like I say, Connolly, the way that he said it, like they're gonna kill us all, to me definitely sounds like you're only supposed to shoot him. Sounds like one of my games, to be fair. The Middle Earth, Shadow Wars. You're supposed to shoot him, not me. Yeah, how did he do as president, Mr. Johnson? Scotch, Irish, Holland. Yeah, you're a bit of a mix, aren't you? Mind you, I've said before, people here call ourselves English, but we've been taken over that many times. People trying to invade us. That we're a mixed breed. Whilst we might say we're English, we've got the Romans and the Danish and all sorts of blood mixed in with us now. Bring back King Arthur. Oh, was she? Oh, so you've indoctrinated her, have you? If that's the right word, into the chase, or did she just put up with that one night? Oh, Davy B enjoyed it. See, the one that I miss, isn't that always the way? I want to be careful because Ben and Ashley are supposed to be going live every day until Shiloh, you know, fun and answers, etc., etc. We're counting down the days as well, aren't we, Davey? We're counting down the days until woohoo! Still doing the music. Hope that's going well. Last time I spoke to you, or yeah, spoke to you, through this sort of event, you were doing a show or something. So, is the chase a more positive place? I was hoping that it was. I saw Greg trying to entice Troy into taking Dale to court. I was like, what? What is going on? And Greg having an altercation with his young lady. I'm thinking this is not the chase. This is not what I was expecting to see. And I said the other day that it's difficult for me because when you do shows in America, it's when I'm supposed to be going to bed. So it's hard for me to convince myself that it's a good idea to stay up till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then see a show like that where someone's kicking someone out of a house, or somebody doesn't go live. They say they're going to go live and they don't go live, and I waited up for nothing, and it's just weird. Like originally when I was in the chase, you were guaranteed that people would be on when they said they were going to be on and know what time it was going to be. Now you're just hoping and waiting for something. Have you warmed up yet doing that, Tigger? Oh, you're Scottish Irish too. I think what should happen, instead of Everybody, no. Instead of the people outside the US in the chase going to the US, I think all you Great Britain, United Kingdom people should come over here, visit your roots, go to Scotland and Ireland and England, have a round trip. Oh, cool. Oh, you're multi-talented, drums and guitar. Are you bass or lead? People get upset when you ask them if they're bass or lead, and they lead. I'm back. How many days left in your camp mode? Truthfully, not many. I know last time you asked me, I said a few, and Forrest said, "Well, how many's a few?" But if you look up a few, it could be thousand, million, billions, gazillions. But worst case scenario, early next year. Best case scenario, before Christmas. Does that help? It's dependent. That's the problem. Forrest said I couldn't end it if I wanted to. Nothing to do with the chest. Can't be. Can't be. People say Forrest pulled the chest. Well, if that was the case, he could have ended it. He could have pulled the chest and ended it. So, Forrest saying I can't end it if I want to means it's something else. There are things set in motion, and now once they've started, they have to play out. Otherwise, he would be a fake or whatever. And he said he couldn't end it if he wanted to. So, or it could have been that there was an answer given and it's in play, and now he can't stop it. But whatever it was, he said he couldn't end it. So it's not that chest. Because I tell you now, the statement, can I make it happen? If all you've got to do is take a chest, put it in a place and hide it there, yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. You can make that happen, and then somebody will find it. So yes, you can do that. But if something a little bit more complicated, then maybe can I make it happen is a good way. But adding to that, I couldn't end it if I wanted to means it's not just about going back and picking up a chest. Not just about going back and picking up a chest. No way. So look for a little more. So about the spot, and even that, you have to think about the spot. Things, yeah, yeah, it's dependent, and that's not to say that we are correct. That's to say that this is what we think. There are other people out there that could have been correct, and this could be playing out to their tune, not ours. Oh, Forrest pulled it. Well, it depends what you mean by pulled it, but no, I couldn't end it if I wanted to means I can't end it. He was told that people were dying. I'm pretty certain that if he could end it, he would have ended it. And that means pulling the chest. Go and get the chest, Forrest. These are the things he was being told. Stop the chase, Forrest. End it. People are dying, Forrest. I couldn't if I wanted to. That's not, someone that can just go out and pick up a chest and take it home and say, look, everybody, it's finished. It's his chest. He could have done it. Woohoo, some Italian. Mr. Lanza? No. Are you on about Mario Lanza? Or are you on about Pavarotti? Mario Lanza. I used to get called Mario Lanza. My mum, when I was growing up, told me my second name was Lanza to wind me up. Not to wind me up, but told me that as a falsehood. And I believed it. Well, and that's what I'm saying. You must have some French. Some people must have some French in them. Some people must have some Spanish in them because they went over and conquered, you know, whatever it was called then, America. I don't know what it was called in the beginning before it was America. Um, don't know. But there were different, and I think Eric went over there. Eric the Viking. So he must have some Danish. Eric the Red. Is that what his name was? He went over. That was another part of one of my souls. Him. He just stole so many. Um, Are you Heinz beans? Are you a variety of Heinz, Tigger? Oh, Canada. Yeah, there has to be some French because they were, first ones over, weren't they? You might even be related to Napoleon. It's episode 8 on Amazon. Heinz, yes. So yeah, over here we've got Danish and who was William the Conqueror? Where was he from? We've got Roman, who were called all sorts of flipping names. Lady Godiva. She was about 60 when she went riding. That ruins the image. Lady Godiva. She was old. She probably forgot that she had no clothes on and went out. Probably got Alzheimer's and then, God, it's a bit chilly out here on my horse. Yeah, apparently she wasn't a young lady, as I believed. She was getting on in age. See, these are the sort of chats that I like. There's no. Normally, you watch the chat, and most of what you read is someone falling out, talking about their soul or their whatever. It's like, why are you falling out? How can you possibly say that somebody's wrong without having the answers? Napoleon was from Corsica. Of course he was. Yes, he was. But he was. What am I trying to say? He was the leader of the French. So at some point he may have visited your country, and done the naughty. Mister Imagination of Innocence, how are you? Good to read those words. Hello, Mister. Hey, he borrowed me it. He said, while he was I can't remember what it's called, Blue Blood or whatever program he's doing. While they're on a break, I can use it. Do you? No, I don't own a Ferrari. I own the dog. No, I don't own a dog either. Let's leave it. We'll leave it up there. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. A little chat. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of what was his name? I'm sure you know Imagination of Innocence. His friend, he also had a tash. I'm more like him than Tom Selleck. Did he have a moustache? I think he has a moustache, didn't he? The English one. Uh, More like him. And he was the one with the money, to be fair, isn't he? No, Ferrari. And unfortunately, I say these things to people and don't believe me, but I'm not a Ferrari type person. These people that talk about BMWs and Mercedes and that, I'd rather have had a Rover or as long as it looks nice, I'm not bothered about the name. Well, as long as it gets from A to B as well, that would help. Oh, so it's your fault, is it, Mr. William the Conqueror, descendant? Well, that serves him right for shooting Harold in the eye, or his descendants. Fancy shooting him in the eye. Are there five in your record collection? Yeah, that's exactly what it said in the book. Can I make it happen like it's supposed to? So all of the events that happen in the chase are to make it happen like it's supposed to be. I don't feel cheated or conned or upset by what's taken place, other than some people have gone over the top with some of the things they've said and done. That is upsetting. But anything that Forrest has done, no, I don't. I don't feel that that's the case. Um, I think Forrest, when he got information from people, he told them in his responses, in his scrapbooks, in his interviews. No, that's not the solve. He didn't name people, but he said it's not. That's not the solve. And if you listen to what he said, you will understand who he's talking to in regard to which solve is out there. Instead of just saying, Mario, you're wrong. That's not it. He probably said, those anagrams you use, Mario, they're pathetic. No. Um, Offered us good solutions. So people with those sort of solves, he said, look, it may be right, but it's not what I want. So if you had a solve like that, he was telling you, no, it's not that. If your solve's not in water, it's not that. If your solve doesn't have hot water, it's not that. The information that Forrest gave eventually would eliminate, different solves. If it's not above 5,000 feet and below 10,200 feet, you know. And again, some of those statements are in the poem. They're written in the poem. You know, told my mother and father going outside for elbow room is written in the poem and sprinkled in the book. Ooh, Alfa Romeo. Ooh. I had somebody was talking to somebody the other day about Lancia. I had a Lancia Beta, a brown one. My first car. Loved it. It was a great car. And I wouldn't mind one now. And I love the shape. I think I've stuck with that sort of shape, to be fair. 1967 GTO. It's 4 years after I was born. That's too old for me. I'm not. I don't. A bit like Zozo, I would um, collect records and stuff like that, coins. But I'm not a car person or horse racing person, or I follow football, not soccer. I follow football because you kick it with your feet. Um, but everything else, no. King Chuck is my 27th cousin. At some point, you're going to be related to Genghis Khan, aren't you? I can see it. How he hid his treasure may be what the Seven Cities of Gold is about. Not about that, but I'm saying the translation from Seven Cities of Gold may just be, the cities is translated incorrectly. And there are seven holes of gold or seven something of gold that has been put somewhere because he couldn't carry it with him all the time, could he? So he hid it, then went on and pillaged someone else and hid that, and went on and pillaged someone else and hid that. So there could be seven mounds of gold somewhere that have been hidden, you know, because the map that was given was, nobody could read it. How low can you go, Tigger? I can do. It was on $2 note. After the died at 2 p.m. Don't. Yeah, but specialised knowledge, that, Larry. Because I don't know. Saying it's specialised because I don't know. Okay. Yeah, if it's a Lancia Beta, you can't go wrong. But the thing nowadays is when stuff was made before, it's built to last. Now, phew, yeah, that's a bit strange or coincidental. 22nd, 22nd, 22, 22. Catch 22. My uncle had one. My uncle had 1 in 10. Is that UB40? I am a 1 in 10. Red 79 Lance. Ooh. Ooh, cool. A Fiat or a Fiat? DNA test had Genghis Khan. There you go. That's close enough. Genghis Khan. That ruthless streak runs through you, Bill. Oh, shame it's not Muhammad Ali. Excuse me. Ramses the Great. I haven't heard that name in years. Wow. Forgot about that person. Oh, he's probably related to David Bowie. If it stays left, take care. That will be Act 2. Take care, Larry. Say hi for us. Do some cooking for me. I'll have it later. Moses was very ruthless too. He had to. He had to look after all them people. That's not easy. Thousands of people. Let my people go. So at some point, I don't know what time they go live, to be fair. Normally 2 o'clock in the morning for me, I suppose, or something like that. 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I don't know. What do you mean you're going to miss us? We'll only be gone, a few days. Take care, my friend. What's the Monday? Yeah, most cars now are all owned by, not all owned, but they tend to um, buy, another trade name out and then just mix it into that. So the parts and the designs, are the same, just call a different color and a different name. Yes, he did. Well, I hope it won't be for long, Larry. I'm not sure what that statement means. I'm going to miss you guys, but yes, and then broke them. Yes, he was the one in the Moses basket, and that's why they call it Moses basket, I suppose. Moses. Hi, Lulu Bell. How you doing? And who's Kadu? Wow, here I is in the proverbial flesh. How you doing, my friend? A man of deep, meaningful thoughts, aren't you, Huska? He spends his time thinking before he says all good stuff. The burning bush. Don't go there. I'm glad you are doing better. Is the family out of the woods as well? You said they had COVID. Well, it depends. Excuse me. How you mean? I'm an alien compared to the United States. The burning bush. Yes, the burning bush. Um, I think we're almost due for the false flag, etc. Some sort of invasion type thing. Ah, you might be better off not hearing. Yes, good. I'm glad. Yeah, he was up the creek without a paddle. But a bit like Forrest, they knew what was going to happen and made it happen because he got where he was supposed to go. The burning blaze, damaged by a force. Thanks, imagination of innocence. I don't think it's that secret, but thank you. Yeah, he made sure. Actually, I'll just take a trip up through Texas. Sure, I'll find a way in from there. Yeah, that. See, I say things like that doesn't make sense to me, but it absolutely makes sense to me because I know why they've done it. They want votes, so those people that have been allowed into the country are going to vote for them. So I know why they've done it, but it still doesn't make sense because it's just a massive cost compared to I don't know. You're screwing. The job you're supposed to do is look after the people, but you're screwing the people over in order that you can look after yourself. Absolutely crazy. I think 300 years ago they'd have been shot by now, and it'd been somebody else would be in charge. Just, I think you become more tolerant in the US because you know from the outside looking in, I'm thinking, what is this bloke doing? You know, by the people for the people. What you are screwed. If it was his house, he has kicked his children out, left them with no food, clothing, or anywhere to go to sleep, and brought in strangers. What are you doing? In the hope that these strangers will say, we love you and we'll vote for you. What? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even get as far as to wonder what his political views are because he doesn't seem to be able to focus. He doesn't seem to be able to live in the world that we're all in. I don't know how he got into power. That is, and I don't obviously, know American presidents as well as you lot do, but that is the worst president ever that I know of, ever, ever. Even those that were around in the 1700s and were new to being president. That shocking, absolutely shocking. I just don't know. And it's not about his policies, and it's not about It's just he does not function. I think that was the answer to Ben's question about the film. The child. I think it's Snow White and the Huntsman or something. At the end of the day, all the information is just information. It has to work with the book, or will be not correct. Yeah, there was nothing that Forrest could do either. He said as much as said. I can't end it. The wires just stop paying taxes. Yeah. Um, I only get to see, what's aired, but I was hearing from them that you know, make it a safer place, this, that, and the other, all these different riots that were coming about, and there was looting and rioting and all sorts of things. It's what? You are running a country and you're allowing them to loot and riot, and then moaning about certain things and shooting someone for entering. Um, and bad thing to do, but it wasn't a riot. Never in a million years was that a riot. It was more like a sightseeing excursion. People just being stupid, not rioting. To get shot for that, crazy, absolutely crazy. Take a picture of me, sitting in this chair. That's not a riot. Not in my book, anyway. Illegals voted for Trump. Well, they didn't vote in good enough numbers because Trump lost. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. It's not about whether Trump's better or, you know, it's about Biden is not up to the job. That's it, simple enough. And if you vote for a person that's not up to the job, then you deserve what you get. That bloke's not up to the job. Somebody, more capable, maybe, yeah, but not him. And, that's not me having a political preference. That's me saying this bloke that I see who can't remember where he is or where he's going or what he's doing is not up to the job of President of the United States of America. And therefore I wouldn't vote for him. It wouldn't matter what his policies were. He personally is not up to the job. You're watching one now. I'm a natural disaster. Thanks, Imagination of Innocence. It's always good to see you. Cheers. Hey, Amy, it's definitely always good to see you. How you doing? Can only be judged by the fruit which is rotten. Hey, Street. Well, I don't know about great to see me. Yeah, I was just going on about my spot. That happiness is the pot, has, for all of us, has the pots. So the spot of these words is pots for the happiness, ops for the choices we make for the souls that we have, tops for the cream of the soul. So that would be the top, the best. The spot, which is what you're all looking for. The post, which could be, the finished post, or could be when it is posted, and then stop, which is when it begins. So once you get the spot, it stops, and that's the beginning. Search stops, and the chase begins. So those four letters for the spot that everybody's looking for mean all those things, which take you through the chase. Your choices, your happiness, your soul, the spot that you find, when it gets posted, and when it stops. Just those four letters. So Mom was waiting for the postman, Forrest said, looking out the window, waiting for the postman, bringing some letters. Trump won. Yeah, I know Trump won. You don't need to tell me that, Bill. He was way ahead, and all of a sudden, it's like, are you having a laugh? If anybody believes this, they want shooting. No, it doesn't matter how badly you think of Trump. The right thing is the right thing. And if people are doing the wrong thing and getting away with it, and you allow that to happen because it's what you wanted, then you're going to get shafted at some point by somebody. Let's not be the BBC. I'm saying I believe that Trump won that by, obviously there's a lot of millions over there, by millions and millions and millions. And I just see this go through, and I think the world's not ready. I don't think the world will ever be ready. I don't know. Yeah, I think they went looking. I don't think they infiltrated. I think they went looking for it. I suppose that's the way to look at it. Five. Yeah, nothing is as it seems. Um, Words don't mean what you think they do. The post sounds like the spot where my gut feeling is wavering. Yeah, yeah, my gut feeling is wavering. Me and Davey talk about that quite a few times. Someone's close. I think it's going to be found this season. Good night, imagination. Trump. He, well, I don't want to get into politics, but I don't see it as that. I absolutely remember, most of the things that Forrest says, and yeah, Trump is a horrible person. Yeah, but like I say, I think from the outside looking in, he did a good job for America and other countries. You certainly wouldn't have Israel and all that stuff going on if Trump was in there. No way. Or Russia and Ukraine. I pulled a fuss. True Solver was not what it seemed either. Don't know what that means. Hey, pirate, where have you been? Good to read you. I don't know about that, Amy. Uh, Sometimes it's wise for the fox to dress like the hound. Is the best I can say about that statement. It doesn't matter who the solver is. I think the solver, if they have a solve, which is remotely connected to the real deal, I think they know. I think the solver just followed in Forrest's footprints and made decisions based on information received. And once the information was received, as far as just in my opinion, it would have been over for the solver because Forrest said he couldn't end it even if he wanted to, and for the solver couldn't finish it even if he wanted to, or she had to play out, had to, you had to get to the spot. Once that was done, that was it. Yeah, and it depends. These words that people keep coming up with. It depends in what context you read them. Forrest was a wordsmith, and people say things like an English major. Well, that's what Forrest was. He was a major who wrote a poem in English for maybe a specific reason, because that poem is not written in American. And I don't know why, you call it English or American or whatever, but it was designed to do something specific. Yeah, I think being blinded by the chest doesn't let you look at what Forrest said in regard to how your soul works out. And I think, I say it to Davey a lot of times, you have to try to separate the information that Forrest gave you, because he wasn't talking about one thing all the time. It's something else, Amy, that I'll talk about to Davey. This is Forrest's ending. As you know, I've said to Dave, if Forrest, wants to take it with him or wanted to take it with him, then Forrest could take it with him. That there's ways and means of making the chase work. Because Forrest said, "Why can't everyone be a winner?" or something like that. So that would mean Forrest was a winner. And if Forrest makes it happen, then it's all about Forrest. It's not about the solver, in my opinion. Whoever the solver is. Forrest says it's out of my hands, but it's not. Even if it's solved, this is Forrest's legacy. This is Forrest's idea. This is Forrest's everything of making everybody a winner. I won't go on about that, Lily. It's FF's ending. I don't know why I say FF. It's Forrest's ending. Forrest was going to make it happen. If anybody thought that finding a chest ended this chase, I don't know. I don't know. But this is not about the solver's ending. This is not. This is not. This is in the book. Forrest said, "I wonder if I can make it happen." And a place where memory has not been. When that happens, I hope that is the best memory that has been. Yeah, he's going to sprinkle things on that. Cool. Ended it. Cow. Cool. Got that fit. It's difficult to hell. Yeah, some big words there. Well, I hope that's right. But Forrest has 3 books and a project that he talked about that would, he didn't know if they were going to be finished or done, and I would hope that they are, that the project is done, and that the books are done. If Solver's book were out, you'd know for sure. Would you? I don't know. Everybody wants to believe that they're the solver and they're not interested in anybody else. The only time, if the real solver brought out a book, whoever that is, nobody would read it because they don't believe that there is a real solver and that that other person has solved it and they haven't. If it was proven that they were the real solver, then that book would sell. Of course, it's about Forrest. The whole chase was about Forrest. Even now, this this chat, this is about Forrest and how he made it happen. I want to say more, but it's too much information, so I'm not going to. I think it's not. Once Forrest is acknowledged, then it won't be about Forrest. If that makes sense, that's the best I can say. Major play, major, yeah. Need to watch history. Yeah, but it could just mean a happy Jeff, not a happy journey. Hey, Star, how you doing? It must be some project. Absolutely, Redneck. Absolutely is some project. A project where everybody wins. I'd say that was worth doing. It's all stuff. I'm glad it's doing well, Sophia. Tig is writing a book. Dun, 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 dun. When? Where? How? Well, nobody's come out and said, apart from you, Street, and Paul, and Troy, and Dave, and Barbara, and they've said they're the solver. But I don't think the solver, whoever they are, has come out and said that they're the solver. Five said he's the solver. Trusted said he's the solver. No, no one would believe anyone. That's why no one would buy a book, because they only believe that they're the solver. Ooh, One Flew Over the Rainbow. Cool. Hi, Glenna. How is your world? There's a lot of talk in England at the moment about the ring around the moon. Um, David B put me right and said it was about when it's going to rain. But it does look pretty impressive. To be fair, it looks like a big planet behind the moon instead of a ring around the moon. But went to a hockey game, ice hockey or field hockey. I'm sorry, Tigger, but that's cool. Yeah. No, I never said you did. I'm just saying, um, Paul was saying the same. If he found it, he wouldn't take it; he'd give it back. The others aren't saying that. They're saying, you've stolen it from me, Forrest. The trouble is, it was never theirs to be stolen from them. Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. That sounds more real. Well, that you must know somebody's name by calling them that. I'll take that away. If that's their real name, because they're not in chat. Glenna. It's too tired to go further. That time of the year. Soon be Christmas. Now I haven't started doing any. I normally leave to Christmas Eve. I don't believe the solver has to prove it. I think the proof will be given, and when people see it, they will realise it. I think that's the whole point of what Forrest was saying. Yeah, I think it's way bigger than that street. I could be wrong, but it's big. But it's still hidden. As far as I know, as far as I imagine, that's the whole point. I wouldn't even tell my mother. My father would know. It's still hidden. It's still, a place where memory has not been and has to stay there. The whole point of it was it had to stay hidden. In our opinion, mine and David, it had to stay hidden, and it's better for it, for everyone. So as long as it remains hidden, it's good for everyone. And when the spot is revealed, it's good for everyone. And I think that's what Forrest was hoping for. And again, you don't have to believe a single word I say, but you do have to believe Forrest. These are, I'm paraphrasing Forrest's words, but they come from Forrest. Yes, it was like you don't have them over there, do you? Sixpence and Christmas pudding. I don't know what you put in there, a nickel maybe or something. That's very possible, Sophia. No news is good. Well, I don't know about that. No news is good news. Let me think about that one, Start. Yeah, I think someone wearing the bracelet being the best revenge is what's good for the solver, which is what Forrest said, but slightly differently. But yeah, I agree with you. Some good words there, Sophia. And that doesn't matter who the solver is. I don't discount anybody. While I discount the solve that they're saying because of the information that Forrest gave us, all of us, that doesn't make me correct. That just makes me listen to what Forrest says and say, well, that can't be right. If you don't understand the above 5,000, below 10,200 feet, then I don't think you solved it. If you don't understand in water but not underwater, I don't think you solved it. If you don't understand the first two clues right by the chest, I don't think you solved it. And there are 50 more, 100 more statements that Forrest made that if you don't understand, I don't think you solved it. You like your dogs, Tigger? Because of the cold, maybe, Street. Your effort will be worth the cold. Your effort will be worth the cold. Your best revenge. So maybe it's something to do with the poem. Maybe. I don't know. It just is. It's revenge, not because you want revenge, just because it happens to turn out that way. It's not a desire for revenge. It's just what happens because of what happens. There is no need. There is no need for revenge. It's just a statement that was made because it's a consequence of the effort being worth the cold. In my opinion, could be wrong, but going by what Forrest says, there's a reason for each of his statements, and those reasons are to aid the finder, not the seeker. So therefore, the finder should know each statement that Forrest makes what the relevance to the chase is potentially. The 9 clues will be obvious when the answers are out. Not telling anybody the 9 clues is not because potentially the solver doesn't know the 9 clues. It's because I would not tell my mother. Not me, Forrest. So if Forrest wanted the 9 clues revealed, they would have been revealed as soon as he made the statement. But there are reasons why nothing is as it seems. And until the story is real, the treasure is real. Until that point in time, nothing is as it seems. And imagination is the best thing that you can do. No, finding the answer to the poem is what gives you title. Believing in a maverick and these are just my opinions, thoughts, and being alongside in the community with some hostile people could be the best revenge. They're just my thoughts. So, and I could be wrong. And I don't say that somebody else isn't the finder or somebody else isn't the solver or somebody else isn't the retriever or whatever. I'm saying the information that Forrest gives could lead you to believe these things. And they are meant to aid the finder in whatever process is meant to happen. And again, it's meant to aid the finder, not the seeker. If you are seeking answers to the 9 clues, you are not the finder. If you know the answers to the 9 clues, you are the finder, whoever the person is out there who understands those statements. Forrest made the statement for the finder, not the seeker. If someone is seeking, Forrest is not talking to them. These are Forrest words, not mine. So it's to aid the finder, not the seeker. If you are seeking, he's not helping you. It's not meant for you because you don't understand. It's meant for somebody who understands, whoever that somebody is. Yeah, this is all about. If you read the Thrill of the Chase book, Forrest is making this happen. Sitting by his juniper fire, he's going to make this happen. He wonders if he can, and it will take him to a place where even memory has not been. Nothing to do with the solver, nothing to do with the treasure that they think they're finding. It's to do with what Forrest Fenn is trying to make happen for whatever reason. Some people will say it's altruistic. He's doing it for himself. He wants to take it with him, and he doesn't give a monkeys about anything else. But out of Forrest's own words, he's trying to do something where everybody wins. Now, if you're trying to win for yourself, then obviously I don't think Forrest is talking to you, you know, in that sense. But if you're trying to win for Forrest and everybody else, then maybe, you have an answer. If I'm a solver, you won't know to wait. The whole poem will be studied. 5. The whole poem, it will go forever. That poem will go forever, and it will be studied over and over. And out of Forrest's own mouth, didn't you know that guy who did the Rosetta Stone was proud? Forrest is proud. He's proud of that poem. That poem is way more than just that cipher. Way more than spiritual journey. Way more than a try the wheel. Way more than Palisade Sill. Way more than any of those solves that people have got. Way more. Way more. Out there. Out there. That poem is out there. And it deserves note and it deserves credit, and what's behind all of that is even more than that poem. Yeah, bias is what, if you believe that you solved it, there's not much chance you're going to read a book by another solver. So you might read Daniel Barbarisi's book because he's not a searcher. He's just writing about the chase. So you might read that. But if Bill wrote a book and said, read my book about you won't read it. If Street wrote a book, you won't read it. Five Leaf wrote a book, you won't read it. Dave Mann from the East wrote a book, won't read it. If Barbara wrote a book, you won't read it. Not interested. You don't believe they sold it, you won't read it. How can you make a statement like that, Five? His poem held that cryptogram and more. So if the cryptogram is going to be good, Forrest wrote that, but he also wrote more. So the poem is more than just that cryptogram. So of course it will. No, I don't say that anybody is wrong. I can't. I'm not Forrest Fenn. But I can say that most of the people that are telling me about solutions aren't listening to what Forrest said. Why'd you have to get nasty, Bill? It's getting personal now. It's not going to be meant for the community. When the truth is known, that trust me, that book will. If there is a book, it will sell. And I don't think this album needs to write a book because Forrest has free books. They're there for a reason. Has free books in his drawer that he said he didn't think would be completed. Maybe they do. Maybe they get completed, and maybe people read them. But it will be Forrest. It will be about the chase. It won't be about the solver. No, Street. That the whole point was no. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. It's not for the solver to tell anybody. When the chase ends, you'll know. Yeah. So you mentioned Troy. Some people, it's okay to believe in your soul, 100%. Because if you don't, you shouldn't have one. Simple as that. You shouldn't have a soul if you don't believe in it 100%. You shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't, try to explain it. If you don't believe in it 100%, you shouldn't have it. But when you criticize other people because you believe in your soul, nah, nah. Sorry, no. You have no proof that your soul is correct. You can't criticize anyone else. You can't. You have no proof that your soul is correct. Only a belief that your soul is correct. No different than the belief that there is a God, and no different than the belief that there isn't a God. It's just your belief. You can't criticize anybody else for believing different than you. You can't. It's not up to you. It's not your opinion to have of them. It's your opinion to have of yourself, of your soul. Yeah, great. You believe in it 100%. You can't say somebody else is wrong. No way, Jose. You can't. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't say somebody else is wrong. You can believe in yourself 100%, but you have no proof other than your own belief and your own bias that you are correct. So when it gets personal, I don't like that. I don't. I think it's disgusting that you think because you have the answers that you look for and you guided yourself to find, you chose the answers before you found them because that's the aim that you had. And you found the answers you were looking for. Big deal. You weren't supposed to find your answers. You weren't supposed to find your answers, which is why Forrest was aiding the finder. You were supposed to find his answers. Those that he already knew, you were supposed to find those answers, not your own answers. It's not your answers that matter. As Forrest said, they're offered as good solutions. They're all answers, they're all right, but they aren't the answers. You will tell. No, you won't, Pirate. Nobody will. Anybody involved in the chase who has any respect for Forrest would not say anything about anything. Yeah, I understand, retaliation, but I don't understand people being disrespectful. I don't understand people being disrespectful. There's no need for it. Yes, once the answer is the answer, the 9 clues are proof of themselves. Pink skies tonight, red sky at night, shepherd's delight, red sky in the morning, look out, pirate. Nobody has proof that your solution is wrong, Bill. No one. No one has proof that your solution is wrong, and even if they do, they shouldn't be flipping being disrespectful. Yeah, I agree with you, Five. I'm not saying that your cipher isn't right. I'm not saying that it wasn't put in the poem. I'm saying it's one of the many that are in the poem. Your name is in the poem with your soul. Street's name is in the poem with the soul. Bill's name is in the poem with the soul. Dave from the East is in the poem with the soul. Indy's in the poem. Toby, Shelley, um, Cynthia, Douglas, Forrest. You're all in there. Everybody's in there. The poem is more than AI. I don't know how Forrest did it. I say it to Dave. Davey. I say it to Davey. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. But he did it. I'm not lost in my thought. I'm lost in Forrest's thoughts. My thoughts don't count. It's not my thoughts that I need to find. Anything that I look for, nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. My thoughts were incorrect, just like everyone else's, in my opinion. They're just right thoughts. They're just answers that Forrest put in the poem for us to find. Little breadcrumbs. Here's some breadcrumbs, find these. We're still searching till we get to the spot. We're all still walking on those breadcrumbs. But those breadcrumbs are on every different path that you can take. They're not my thoughts. My thoughts, I went to, well, I told you before, I've been in Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico. I've been to a lockup. I've typed in a number. I've done all sorts of things because those selves are there to be found. I've done the anagrams. They're there to be done. I've slid the lines. They're there to be done. I've played chess. I've played canasta. I've played catch with Forrest. I've done lots of things in that poem because they're there to be done. Forrest told me all about them in the poem. Reading the poem here, I'll do this, do this, do this. I've been around Greg's secret garden. Every single animal in the place that it's supposed to be. Every single animal. I don't need to go to the secret garden because I can go to the secret garden in the poem. Another solve that someone has that's written in the poem. A map of the secret garden is in that poem. You don't have to believe me. Believe Forrest Fenn. I'm telling you. Man from the yeah. She probably has. She probably has. She probably knows of him. Probably mentioned him. Candy did it a different way. The Seven Cities of Gold, they're in that poem. 100%. El Dorado. It's in there. There's so much in there that you. No, I'm not lost. That's what I just said. I'm not lost in my thoughts. I am not lost in Forrest Fenn's thoughts. I am following Forrest Fenn's footprints. I'm not lost. I'm doing what he said. My family don't want to. My family don't want to. So who's going to? Are you Street? No, because you're lost in thought. Is Dave Man from the East? No, because he's lost with Superman. Is Barbara? No. No one is. Nobody's bothered. All they're bothered about is they are right and everybody else is wrong. There's only one person that is correct, as far as I know. Forrest Fenn. He's the only one that knows. If you don't follow Forrest, he'll fool you. You can't be lost. The whole point is not to be lost. Yeah. 13 again. So what else think Yeah, he said that. Yeah, that's the whole point, though, isn't it? It doesn't matter what people think, or shouldn't matter what people think, but people shouldn't be disrespectful, and they should listen better. Don't. Josh Jordan tried to change some of the words that I said and some of the things that I was saying. No, I know what I'm saying, and I'm not saying what you're saying that I'm saying. See, so there's information that I don't want to give out, but I will say, INFJ, that someone in the poem was mentioned in a video where Forrest has the turquoise ring. That information would have been impossible to get from any other source than Forrest. You couldn't just make it up. You couldn't just go to this place, you know, on the internet to get this video. You had to have the information to get this video of that ring, the turquoise ring. That was in the poem. Anybody who reads the poem has to believe in remote viewing or time travel or something, because some of the stuff that you read is of a better mind than the average person. So I don't look into those people, but I understand what you're saying is the best I can answer. I don't know how Forrest did this. This poem is better than AI. Some people will say coincidence. I say it's planned. I look at it and I go, how is it possible that these bits of information are in the poem? It's one thing to plan something and give people names, but it's another thing to know the names of people that aren't involved in the chase and talk about their life, talk about companies, places, addresses. Being able to see the information and then put it into that poem, two different things, but both unbelievable. Both unbelievable. To know what's going to happen and then be able to put it all into that poem. Barbara stole my elephant. Yeah, and that could be a coincidence, Bill. Maybe she didn't steal it. Maybe, I've seen. Actually, she has got an elephant. What if it's a mammoth? What if it's not an elephant? Have you, INFJ? I mean, I didn't look into him, not because it's my name, but there's a Mario Reading, or Mario Reading, it's spelt. Another person that, a bit like Nostradamus, sees stuff. He's in the poem. It's just, I would never know of that person, ever. I would never know of that person ever if Forrest hadn't told me about him. Now, I don't know if it's coincidence, but, Dave will tell you there's too many coincidences in that poem for it to be coincidence. The information is planned information of what, in 2010 or before when the book was wrote, would have been, a future event, would have been a prediction. And I keep going on about the Powerball. Powerball was in there. I put in chat that I wanted somebody to buy me one of those tickets. Nobody did, otherwise I'd have been, 2.4 billion better off. If somebody had offered to buy me a ticket, I could have given the numbers. I could have told them that it was going to be delayed. I could have told them the name of the person who, gave the numbers out. I could have told them the Powerball number, and could have had 2.4 billion. That is in the poem. Predicted before, 10 years or whatever, 11 years before it actually happened. And people say, oh, well, you can find anything in there. It's, as far as said, it's continuous, contiguous, chronological, one foot on top of the other. Please touch. It's all of those things. No, I never attended a Fembury. I wanted to. It hurts, to be fair, when people talk about, we're all going to go for a meetup. TOE. Yeah, they're there as well. The table of elements there in the poem. The names of the elements are in there. Look them up. Even the hydrogen and what was the other one? Nitrogen that you're going to be talking about, 5. Even that's in the poem, but it's in the poem for a different reason as well, because of a leak, hydrogen leak in a certain, again predicted hydrogen leak in a certain piece of hardware, predicted by Forrest Fenn before it happened. I don't know how he did it. Don't know how he did it. ABC as easy. Yes, exactly, as easy as 1, 2, 3. Show that to a child, Kiwi. Show that to a child. ABC as easy as 1, 2, 3. Guess how well they do. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Contiguous right here, but hey everyone. Yeah. Yes, and that's why I say it's more. It's more than that Mario Redding. That's why I say I don't talk about those. The Mario Redding is future predictions. The I can't remember what they're called now. Those girls, the street will name, white gowns, circle. They could see the future. I don't remember what they're called now. Eric. That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. 5. It's hard to believe that it's hard to believe that it's possible to do what's been done if that's the case. If he's, you know, remote view, traveled in time, had a vision, it's hard to believe that that's possible. But he's put all that information in the poem, 6 stanzas, and then he's put another information, then other information, and your cipher and Palisade Sill and Spiritual Journey and Higher Hand, and he's put all that stuff in 5 waters, 5 springs. He's put all that stuff in the poem. Eric Sloane, Ernest Hemingway, Sharp, Joseph Sharp. He's put all that in the poem. He's put his family in the poem. He's put all the people that are in the chase in the poem. So that means he's wrote this bit of information, then turned the page and wrote different information, and turned the page and wrote different information, turned the page, wrote different information, turned the page, wrote different information, for thousands of pages. And he's wrote about past, present, and future events in that poem. Which bit is unbelievable? The fact that he wrote all this information, or the fact that he knew the information before he wrote it? So, you underestimate Forrest when you think he just wrote a poem. And he may have just wrote a poem, but he did more with it. Yeah, he could have gone to the future and he could have had AI of 2070 do it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't matter how you look at it, the poem is unbelievable. It doesn't matter how you look at it. And the cipher is not even 1% of what's in that poem. And not the answer, in my opinion, to everything, which, for Forrest, as I'm trying to relate what I think he was saying, everyone's a winner. Now, in everybody's solve, you are the only winner. 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 That's not what Forrest was aiming at. Everyone was a winner. So if you are the only winner, I don't think that's the right one. I honestly don't. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But if you're the only winner and Forrest wants everyone to be a winner, how can it be possible that you are the only winner? It's not. It's not possible. So therefore, in my opinion, maybe that's not the right answer because everyone should be a winner. Yeah, I miss Susie. No, it's in the book. You only have to look at the first page and look at the card. The hint's there. The cipher's there. And table of elements. Some of it is there. The hints are there. You don't need Susie. You can read it in his identity tag. Kind of like Forrest is diabolical, and that, to me, that was, as I said to David, that could be the. I wish I could have lived to do the things I was attributed to. That, without doubt, that is diabolical, without doubt, and that I can prove that is diabolical. Yeah, it's just a small part of it. I'm not being nasty. I'm not trying to make it. I've got more than anyone else. I'm just saying, for the couple of years that I was in it and the year since, the information in there is beyond belief. And that's just the information that I'll talk about. That doesn't include Tim. That doesn't include Queen. That doesn't include Dutchman from the East. That doesn't include somebody who was supposed to be doing it before. I haven't said anything. That doesn't include the try the wheel that Troy did. That's different information than the information I've told you about. But there is other information in that poem. And people say, "Oh, Mary, your soul." You don't know my soul because my soul is varied. My soul was playing chess. My soul was playing canasta. My soul was writing it 2 lines at a time and going up and down, and then 2 lines at a time, and 2 lines at a time, 2 lines at a time, and like that, 3 lines and 3 lines and 3 lines. My soul is the anagram. My soul is playing chess. My soul is playing tag. My soul is all of those things I did in that poem. So when you say your soul memory, you don't know my soul. My soul is a map. And when I say my soul, I mean me and Davey. My soul is a map of the poem. There are lots of different things in that poem that I have done, that I've explained in all my videos, but people only choose one part of the information that says my soul. But trust me, there's probably 12 different versions of information from that poem that I've told you about and stuff that I haven't told you about. But it's, Forrest's own words again, it's doable. It's doable. I'm the only one that knew the sliding trick. Could well be. Try the wheel. But I showed you a video that says where the treasure lies is in my poem. Sliding the lines. Like, Troy's done. But I didn't do it because Troy did it. I did it because Forrest told me to do it. This is the information I got and I did it and that's what I found. So the treasure lies where the treasure lies in my poem. And that was going to be the title of the poem. So when you say my soul, nobody knows my soul or our soul because I haven't told you. I've told you, as I said from the very beginning, I've told you I would give you the information of the solves that I did in order to get the solve that I think is the correct solve. What you've seen me talk about, if you watch all my videos, you would have seen all the different versions. You would have seen me play chess. You would have seen me have a map. You would have seen me colouring 3 lines at a time, 4 lines at a time. You would have seen me slide the lines. You would have seen me do all those different things. You would have seen me have Ace of Hearts. The Joker was the 10 of Hearts, Ace Hearts, 10 of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, King of Hearts. It's in the poem. So you might as well stay in and play canasta. You would have seen me do the synonyms. Another one. You know, what does warm mean to you, Forrest? Comfortable. Comfortable is in the poem. Where warm is. The arm of comfortable is in the poem where warm waters is. Outside for elbow room. That is in the book. Tom, mother, father going outside for elbow room is in the book. How about a depression from the poem? Toe to toe is in the poem. Leave your friend in the car in the poem. The information that Forrest was given for the finder is in the poem. Fort at Shiloh, I know that. Hey, Rob G, how you doing? Long while since seen your name. Gave a lot of Yes, he did, Glenn. And, you know, rather, you know, people aren't thankful enough to Forrest for what he did. Instead, they want to criticise him and say that he pulled it and that he was a fraud and that. But, you know, he went out of his way to give information. And, you know, I like to believe that he did it in the hope that people would understand it, not in the hope that people would be moved away from their spot. You know, people say, oh, he tried to get these people to get out of Montana and do this and do that. That statement is a good statement to help you understand the poem and be in the right place. It doesn't necessarily mean Montana, you know, the place Montana. And it could mean Montana. But what I'm saying is, in the poem, if you understood what Forrest was saying, you'd probably find more information. So I 100% agree with you. He did more than help a lot. He went out of his way. And if he never did, you wouldn't know anything. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. Everybody's solution is right, 5. That's what I'm trying to say. It's right. You can't prove them wrong because they're right. It works. It's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. You're supposed to get an answer. It's an answer that Forrest already knows. You're supposed to get an answer. And I'm hoping that's how everybody wins. Because you got an answer that you're supposed to find. But it's not only one answer. There's lots of answers. Ace in the hole. Yes, Tigger. Play Canasta if you go and play poker. I'm still at home playing Canasta. I believe the poem's been solved. I absolutely believe the poem has been solved. 100%. You can't believe more than 100% because 100% is 100%, but I believe it's been solved. And I believe that the solver doesn't have to say anything. You know, I believe that too. And I believe if whoever is the solver, they have not been cheated. And if there is anything that Forrest wishes to give, or the solver deserves through whatever code was mentioned, then that will happen. And the solver doesn't have to do anything. So whoever you are, believe in Forrest. Yeah. That's if you don't lose your shoe in there. Chase over. Yeah. um, I don't know if you know the answers, INFJ, but in a roundabout way, yes. Um, I believe someone will be here to see it come to fruition. That's like saying the Warren Commission is right. I know BS when I smell it. Bum says yes. Took 2 trips in one afternoon. I hid the chest and then I hid the treasure. Didn't say hid them together. If you find the chest, you can have it. For me, Forrest made the statement along the lines of the chest going to the Smithsonian. So you're never going to get it. You weren't going to get it. If you believed you're going to get a chest, you weren't going to get it. And if you weren't prepared to donate it, give it back, then you weren't reading, what you or listening to what you're being told. It was always going to go back. That was the agreement that was made. So that's how I understand it anyway. As I said before, day 5, AI results are only as good as the information put in. Unless you have all the information for them to make a quantifiable answer correct, it won't work. Say you only put the 3 states in, say you only put New Mexico, Colorado, and Montana in. It wouldn't even throw out a possible Wyoming solution. So all the information that goes in has to be correct before whatever information is, thrown out can be assessed. No one's disagreeing. I don't think you're listening. The cipher is the cipher, but not necessarily only one answer. It'll be 100% correct, 100% right. They're all 100% right. Dave, man from the East, can make his solve 100% right. Everyone can. They're supposed to be right. Troy eventually got try the wheel to fit, and have a full solution instead of just try the wheel. You're supposed to find that information. You're supposed to find it. Now, if you say that Troy is wrong, I don't know how you can say that. Don't know how you can say that. You just believe that he's wrong, but you can't say that he's wrong. You believe that he's wrong because you believe you're right. You don't believe that he's wrong because he's wrong, because you have any other evidence other than you believe he's wrong because you're right. And he believes you're wrong because he's right. Well, he believes everyone's wrong because he's right. So you only believe somebody else is wrong because you believe you're right. You have no other information to quantify them being wrong. Hey, oh, Harvey. Ooh, understand that word. Hi, David. How you doing? It's good to see you. I'm not on your time, am I? I don't. No, Sunday. Uh-oh, Heston, the Cheston. Harvey is good. Always a bonus. And get political 5. What's a good point? I don't know any good points. Actually, if you the five waters, which is 5 springs, is in the poem. The try the wheel is in the poem, and try the heel. But try the wheel is in the poem in a different place, just doing it differently. But there's nothing to say in that statement of try the wheel that it's a medicine wheel that they're talking about. That's just an opinion that Troy has. And then he's made his soul fit that opinion, just like everybody else has. You find the information and believe that information to be true, and it all works out to be correct in your opinion, because that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a red flower, you find a red flower, you say, "Oh yeah, I was right. Look for a red flower." But there could be 15 yellow flowers, 15 purple flowers, 15 orange flowers, and you went past all of them and you found your flower because you're looking for your flower. It doesn't mean to say that there weren't other flowers there. And that's the issue with people who have a soul. They look for what they want as an answer, find that answer and say, "Yep, that's right." But you're in a meadow full of flowers and you found the flower you're looking for. How does that make you correct? It doesn't. It doesn't make you correct. You may well be correct, but it doesn't make you correct. And nobody else can argue because you were looking for a red flower and they were looking for a yellow flower. You found your yellow flower, you found your blue flower, you found your orange flower, you found your red flower, you found your purple flower. You're all right. You found the flower you were looking for. And you can't argue that they're wrong for looking for a yellow one or a red one or a green. You can't argue that because you don't know that that's the flower that you're supposed to look for. So why people argue is beyond me because you don't know the answer. Unless you know it's a yellow flower that you're supposed to be looking for, you can't argue that everybody else is wrong. Not to me, no. Um, Even we'll talk about it today or yesterday, weren't we, Davey? The Olga and Flitter in the Ashes, the ashes flitted, is written in the poem. I said to David that it's possible that Forrest has the entire Thrill of the Chase book written in that poem because there are sentences out of the book that are in that poem. Taos Mountain, through out the window, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was supposed to find something. Everyone was supposed to find something. And hopefully that's everybody wins. But, I don't know that for certain. Forrest said it's up to the finder. But he said the who and the where. I'm not going to put, stipulations after the fact. That doesn't mean to say that everybody can't win. I found an acre full of flowers. Good on you. Yellow and purple, were they? Oh, Sophia wrote that. Yeah, they were yellow and purple, yes. I agree that no one found anything to get. Well, nothing's been found. I was saying that to David, to be fair. Nothing's been found yet. While it's been found, Forrest said he didn't find the treasure he found where I want to die, something like that. I'm sure you're not. And clues in the poem led him to it. Direct, yeah, precisely to it. But again, there were two things that you're supposed to be looking for, at least two, maybe more. Well, I think more. There was the outrageous stare, and there was a secret treasure. So the chest, hid a chest, and then does anybody know about my secret treasure? Can't be the chest. The chest, we all know about the chest. It's not secret. It's not secret. It's not. And if you weren't looking for secret stuff, then you found the answers that you already knew, and those are the answers that were given to you. All of us. We were all given answers, and we chose whichever ones fitted our mindset. You're not going to find the chest where you're looking, Forrest said. How can he make that statement? No one's going to stumble on that chest. How can he make that statement? Yeah, tell me what the poem says, or tell me what the poem reads. Yeah, then it's game over. It doesn't say, look at 50,000 comic books and tell me what the comic books say. You're supposed to solve the poem, not find the chest. You're supposed to get the spot. Forrest wanted the spot. That's what he wanted. Until that happens, you asked some good questions, you do. Yes, I did find something in Casper, but I don't wish to say. I wanted to do more, but I see yellow and purple flowers. They found the phantom in Casper. I sent Forrest something of what I found in Casper. Yeah, you will not find the treasure where you're looking. So anybody, in chat or wherever who sees this, you won't find the treasure where you're looking. How can Forrest make that statement? The information he gave was to aid the finder, not the seeker. If you are seeking, you won't find the treasure where you're looking. How can that statement be made? How can it be made? You won't find it where you're looking. That's a general statement for everybody. You're all looking where he's expecting you to be looking. Well, I don't think it's been retrieved. Yeah. So what was the chest at Heritage then? Even if you have a solve, it's hard to believe that the solve is correct if you can't explain away everything that happens in the chase. The thing is, I'm not going to come out and say I'm the solver. I'm just putting the information out that could potentially lead somebody to understand my beliefs of what Forrest was, or has, or is, or done. I haven't given out a solve, but I have given out what I think the answer is. And if you listen good and read good, you would have seen that I've given the answer of what I believe it is. And when I say I mean we. But that information has been put out into YouTube either verbally or in the written word and in chat and that. And that explains what I think Forrest Fenn did, and that's why I'm so shocked that I don't know how he did it. I don't even know how he thought of it. Yeah, I believe you're 100% right, but I can't say you're correct. Five, I believe it's there, seeing it there. It's a good solve, which is what Forrest said. They're good solves, but he said they won't get you to the treasure or something like that. You need a sandwich. A sandwich is a pudding, so you definitely need a pudding at the high place because it was put in. You need gloves. Well, there's hot water, so you need gloves, and you need a torch. If you don't need those things or don't understand them, then maybe your solve isn't right. Because trust me, you need them. They're part of what Forrest is talking about. Some of it is related to the chest, and some of it is related to the secret treasure, and some of it is possibly related to him being diabolical. Yeah, but the reason he said that, excuse me, Jack said that, is because he was talking about the chest in the book. He wasn't talking about the other chest. That's why he made the statement. That's why he made it so obvious. Is this the chest that was in the book, The Thrill of the Chase? Yes. Well, that was just a chest with the gold. It wasn't the real chest. Hey, Wayfarer. Yes. What a tangled web. Web's a good word. Let's see. And again, talking to David B. The deceiving part is not fraudulent in the sense they're trying to do somebody out something. It's fraudulent in the sense they're trying to keep secret, which is the whole point. What's the answer? I've given out the answer. What I think the answer is, and what David thinks the answer is, has been given out. Um, Not just straight out, this is the answer, but Forrest said you would have to work for, earn it. Earn it. Not giving it away, you have to earn it. Are you asking me for a bolt? If I need a bolt cutter? I believe you need the spot. That's what I believe. Cheers, Redneck. At the end of the day, I'm no different than anyone else. If, I take it that you're all searchers. These are just opinions and thoughts. Me and Davey, we've talked about it. Obviously, Davey has his own opinions and thoughts before we met. But at the end of the day, we've come to the conclusion that Forrest has done something amazing, and we're all part of it, and hopefully everybody's a winner. It might be more than that now. Just a GPS, please. I don't think it was about a GPS. Although there is a GPS in the poem, it says so. 100%. I would love to tell you exactly, some of the stuff that's in there. Really would, but this is not, my gig. This is Forrest. Yes, a whopper. That's what Shire talked about. That's what's talked about in the lawyer's office. Uh, Subway in the lawyer's office. Just look up, look at the words. You're given information right in front of you, and nobody's bothered to work it out. Who's that? Is street locked in your basement? He likes basements. Like pig. Everybody's stomping on the ants while the elephants. Thanks, the key. Um, I was honest when I wrote to Forrest and said, I'm not searching anymore. I'm not searching. And sometimes when me and David talk, I say, this is just information. This won't change anything. Whatever we do, whatever we talk about, will not change what's already happened and is already in play. This will play out until something ends it. And I've told you that word tops, which is the spot. So you start with happiness is the pot, which is pots. Everybody, we're searching for pots of happiness, and each of us has one that we're going to get. Then we have the options, which is ops, which again is spot. So whichever solve you opt for, you have the tops, which is the cream of the top, of the crop, which is the best solve, the right solve, the correct solve. The tops, whichever one you want to believe. Then you have the spot. Once you get the spot, it's not over, but the spot is what you're looking for, because then it has to be posted, which is another spot. POST, SPOT, TOPS, OPTS, POTS, and then you have the stop, waiting for the lights to change. You have the green light, and then the chase begins. And then, it's all good stuff, or should be. So for those letters that, Mom was staring out of the window waiting for the postman to bring the letters to her, just the letter of spot, which is what we've been looking for, gives you all those options. So hopefully the right option. No, not that GPS. Oh, 44. Wow. That's over to the left. 44. Crappy doodle. 72. No, it's 44 up. 44's up, isn't it? 82, 110, 107 across. So 40. Oh, he's in Montana. Is that right? I don't know. I'm not very good at these things. How do you get one? Of course, there's a GPS in the poem, and there's a. No, can't. I don't want to say too much. Yeah, absolutely. The numbers and the words are in the poem. There's a GPS, which is what I said when Capo and them were talking about GPS. But again, is that the correct answer? Is it not the correct answer? Is it just another soul that it's supposed to find? That again, 5 will be 100%. No one can doubt it. It's there. But is it right, or is it correct, or is it just right? There's a GPS in that poem. And when this is over, I'll prove it to 5. And I'll prove why I read the GPS, why I was told to read it, that specific GPS. And that's better than Cipher. The GPS is. It's a physical place on a map. Pots, tops, posts, spot. We'll start. What if I was just stop teachers with ropes? Oh, it just so happens to be there too. Interesting. Oh, Andreas was great. Oh, so, but you missed one. Have you missed one? Going too quick. It's my fault, San Andreas. Spots, tops, posts, top spot, ops. You haven't got ops. You didn't have ops. The options that you have. Wow, you're going so quick now. I'm way behind, aren't I? Way, way behind. Sorry, people. My computer doesn't like this sort of stuff. I've got to be honest. What is it called when people ignore the fact that there's well, most people didn't know that, but okay. Who was wearing the ant mask or the wasp? Bill, Mammoth, Monday. Oh, Mammoth. Good Chase Times. They would have Mike would have released it. Cheat. Sorry, Bill. An elephant can be found. No mask there. Who's Skidoo? Today's brought to you by the letter B. Letter B. Letter B. Letter B. Letter B. Speaking the words of wisdom, let it be. Well, that would be a drone, wouldn't it? A bee. Maybe. You just do not understand what is going on. You are lost. Oh, I thought I was still reading Huska. Yeah, if you get lost, go back to the beginning. I know where it is. There's two GPS. There's GPS where it takes just and go in peace, and then you drop down one, but you don't need to drop down one to get GPS. If you look at my thing, it's there. It's all there. Elephant Head Rock, latitude 44, 60107, NAD8. I don't know what any of that means. I know what some of it means, but that's what he's asking me. Nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I said it's my fault because it's a San Andreas fault. There are a bunch of elephants in this room, just stomping around. Nom nom in the poem. Oh, the horn. Yes. The horn is also mentioned in Matizzi Horn of Realm, but that's not the Pitchfork Horn of Realm or whatever. If you look, you will see the horn is probably a few more times more than that. As I said before, there's a load of shite in the poem. I think that's interesting that is all shit. If you want, if you want a better word. Then I went to Sunday and Greg hijacked it. See, there was a time when people had days to do these streams, and now people just go live. And by people, I mean me. I go live when I think something needs to be said, not because I think my voice is worth anything, but I just want to get off my chest. I'd send the GPS coordinates to the road stop sign, but time travel. Thanks, imagination. Time travel is required now. Can't get exact. But you wouldn't want this PC, it's useless. It's struggling to keep up with just me streaming it. Mario versus Pac-Man. It is the season for stocking caps. Or bottle tops. I'm a big. I'm a BFG, big friendly giant. In the Hedgeford Rock is located at Palisades in Miami. More Palisades. Dave's in the wrong place. He's at the wrong Palisades. He's at the sill. Silly Billy. Not you, Bill. Silly Billy Dave. I believe that everything Forrest said was for a reason. So when he said in water, not underwater, he meant it was in water, but not underwater. When he said, "Did the hot water affect the patina?" There was hot water. And if you don't understand it, then I can't see how you can believe your solver's correct, because otherwise you're just saying that Forrest is a liar and Forrest is a fraud and Forrest is trying to lead people away from the answer. When his statement was obviously different. He said it was to aid the finder. I really hurt too bad. I bet it's not good. I mean, you're going at such a speed, and then instead of going forward, you're actually going in a different direction. So it can't be good. I wouldn't. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as doing a belly flop in a swimming pool, but it could have the same sort of impact, I suppose. There's some G forces there. If something ends it and no one knows what that means, then it sounds like. But me and David do think we know what it means. And something does end it. But again, there's something that ends it, makes it the beginning, because then that's the place where memory hasn't been. It hasn't happened yet, so therefore memory can't have been there. So when there is a memory, it's happened and then it starts. So Glenn, I think something does end it, and I think that something is ever drawing nigh. More nigh than drawing. And it doesn't matter whether anybody knows what it means or not. The fact is, Forrest is going to make it happen. So at the point that it's made to happen, whoever Forrest deemed to be the solver should know, but will be informed, I suppose. But they will know if they know what's going to end it. They will know when it ends. I don't think they'll need to be told. That's just my opinion. Also proves it owns the horns of the way it. Oh, it's an Elvis album. That's the way it is. In the story by Washington Irving about the devil and Tom Walker, you might encounter horns. Yeah, but so I can bet you that somebody did the Dante's Inferno soul, another soul that's in there, and somebody did an Alexandra soul, and somebody did Cleopatra, and somebody did. I don't know. There's hundreds. But out of the 300,000, if that's how many there were, those solves would have been done, and Forrest would have known they were going to be done because he put them there, and he gave you the information for you to, however your mind worked, to go along with that train of thought. Good, nice clean chest. What happened to Lucky Digger? Did Cynthia go to the pokey? Maybe she got another name. Maybe it was a better name. I don't think Cynthia's absent. Absolutely don't. I think Cynthia's among us. Hey Troy, how's it going? Are you winning? A friend of mine. Ooh. Yeah, the canopy's not supposed to be there when you go through. Absent-minded. Mind absent. Now I need to delete my medicine wheel so I can chat it. What's happening? What the official press story will do when it turns. Oh, is that right? Well, even if there is a better solve, it might not be the correct one. He's been MIA. Oh, Lucky Digger is a he. I thought Lucky Digger was a she. I didn't know it was about my lot. Oh, well, good luck with that. I didn't know that was happening. So I didn't know it was about my turn. Yes, I think there are names that come and go, but they're still here. Ow! Well, I don't like the idea of that. Ooh, I don't like the idea of that. I'm prepared. I'm absolutely prepared. I said to David B, it'd be nice for it to be over for everyone. More so for Forrest, but people, if they're real searchers, want to know the answers, and I think that's only fair that they know. And I believe that Forrest was truthful when he said, it'll be announced on CNN and K-Pro show. I don't believe that he would have lied about something like that. So when that happens, I think you're getting, the answers that you're waiting for, whatever those answers are. Well, you can get Dave Man from the East camper, which is not worth as much now as it was then. He's probably sold it, so all those people expect to get Dave's camper, you've got no chance. It's probably gone. You might have to get the monetary value of it. Yeah, me too as well, Troy. I hope everything goes well. I hope it's a good result. It's trying to drop you. Why would they try and drop you? They'd be your friend if you were the winner. They'd be like, oh, hello. In the AFC. See, that's my. I don't know what that is, but that's my football team's name. AFC is Arsenal Football Club. I know you're talking about the American football. I'm telling you straight. Yeah, I believe you. I'm not saying that you're not. But I'm saying if you are, if you get something, your friends and families will be, around you like flies around shit. And I'm hoping, they, with Yvonne, that they take ages and then they say, well, we don't know what it is, which is worse. I'm hoping they do the test and find out exactly what it is and give you the correct medication and everything, to feel, young again, or at least normal. Sometimes being ill makes you feel older than you actually are, and having some or the right medication makes you feel, a little bit fitter. How much is the bounty for a better solve? I said the better solve might not be the correct solve. That people, I don't understand. I don't know if it's just Americans that I don't understand, or I don't understand. It's not about having a good solve or a better solve, or a classy solve or a smart solve. It's about having the correct solve. It's about having the solve that Forrest wants you to have. So it doesn't matter how good it is or how convincing it is. It, none of that matters. It's, how smart it is or how well put together it is, or if you had a great PowerPoint, none of that matters. A better solve is not necessarily the correct solve. Oh, sorry, Imagination of Innocence. I've got two things mixed up there. I've got the AFC football Patriots, and not patriots as in patriotic people in America. So sorry about that. I was reading American football, not American financial collapse. It'll be worth a better. Ah, I see. Have you been to USA? Not I did go to the US. I went on boots on the ground in Wyoming. 2019. I think 2019. But like I said to Forrest, I sent him an email saying, I'm not searching anymore. I'm happy with the solve. I won't be going to the US. Nothing. This will end when it ends. Even if I went to the US, it wouldn't end. It's not, in my opinion, and David B's opinion, it's not about finding a chest. It's about the spot, as Paul was talking about. Once that is found, then it's game over, game beginning. It's the thrill of the chase. Once that happens, and it's everybody's a winner. In my opinion, well, it was possible for everybody to be a winner, which is what I thought Forrest was aiming for. We thought Forrest was aiming for. So, yes, I would love to have a beer with you. Street, Fendi, well, nearly everybody. There's only one or two people that I would be concerned about, but I'm not 100% sure if they're just players, which is Mitchell Albright. I'm not sure if he's a player or he's just really upset with everybody. So, I want nothing against him. I'm just a bit concerned that he might not be happy. And can't remember. Obviously, don't hold much against him because I can't remember the name. But probably only two people that I'm just slightly concerned. Everybody else, I think it's all good. I think it goes without saying that I'd like to meet Davey B. He would be first on the list. Then Paul. It'd be nice to have a beer and that together. But there are people that haven't given out souls that I'd like to meet. Just the names that come up in chat. So today, Tigger's in chat. Okay, Larry. They don't necessarily have souls. And the key might be a name that we already know. Woody. Hi, Woody. How you doing? I might not know those people as searchers, but I'd like to, have a beer with them. Richard Dreyfuss keeps his up. Bill always says something funny. Sunday was great, thanks, Woody. I hope yours was good too. You're still doing yours. Mine finished 2 hours ago. David B is the Oz version of Steve Klein. There's authorities waiting for insiders to do solve it. This is not BS. Thing with the chase is the information is in the poem. So it doesn't matter what anybody does. The information's there. And it will prove itself. It won't need authorities or whatever or not. It won't need anything that's there. If you all had a meetup, you want. Yeah, trusted another one. Talking of ancients, Rob G. And people say, they don't like K-Pro and Cal, but I've got nothing against them. Cynthia, Dow. I'd like to meet those people and have a drink with them. I've got, Barbara. I've got nothing against Barbara. I did initially, Obviously a court case and that. It's like, what? Are you serious? This man's doing this special thing, hoping that everybody wins, and you want to take him to court. So, but then, understanding a bit more about the chase and everything that's going on doesn't seem too bad. And then, Jack Stoof, Douglas Preston, Lincoln Child, Shiloh, Zoe Kelly. There's a lot of people that I would like to meet. Obviously, Forrest was the main person above everyone, including you, Davey. Sorry, mate, but that's the way it goes. Um, yeah, I would love to have shook that man's hand and you know talk to him in person instead of just email emails and nothing. Closer than what? Richard Rutherford was closer than what? The cold. I definitely want to shake Richard's hand. But Little Rock, Geo Nut, Robert McQuaid. I'd like to speak and talk to Carl. Dark Greg, good, bad Greg. Don't know who they all are now. I would love to have spoke to Man Alone, Man About Sunday Smart, something. Susie, Who's Your Sisters, Toby Shelley, Sasha Jason. The other people. Gallatin Ghost. I've heard and spoke to. Christy Meeps was another one. But there were some that were around before me, like Stephanie, Mindy. Oh, A Whisperer, I'd like to meet A Whisperer. Illinois Ghost. Who was the other one? Anyway, there are others that were Dave, someone. Used to hang out with Street and Davey B, Dave, someone. Those sort of people were out, before I came along. So I don't know who they are, but I would still like to, meet them, have a chat with them because they were involved. That makes me believe that your little rock and Gironut failed attorney. Yeah, they were nice people. Kurt Gowdy. No, is it Gowdy? Something Gowdy, Kurt Gowdy? It might have been Kurt Gowdy. But, probably the same person. Like I say, these people just change the names and come back. Obviously, Lucky Digger, who now maybe somebody else. Hooley. See, you forget, some of the good ones. Queen, Amy. There's probably going on for nearly 100 people. MJ, Kiwi, David, INFJ. And like I say, those names could change. Sophia. It has to be a big place, wouldn't it? Have to be a big place. And I'm fully aware. Redneck Express Man Alone. Are you Man Alone, Redneck? I sent him some emails. Yeah, I liked what he said. I liked his shows. Sad that he went. Toby should write a book about eating. Calvi. Yes, indeed, INFJ. Dave Calvi. Before my time, but, Davey obviously spoke to him, so he can't be a bad lad. There are others that I hardly had much to do with that were around. And, Michael, USA, Michael, the policeman, other people that I don't really know, but anybody who's involved with the chase is worth knowing, I suppose. And Man Alone, but not the Man Alone. Okay, thanks. But if you went into the desert, you might find a bell or a jar. Yeah, Eric. Yeah. He's another one. It is what it is. When I first video I saw of his, I didn't like because he was slagging Forrest off. But I got to watch the others, and he's not a bad lad. You're a bad man, David. 5, here's another one. All new. They haven't left. They just changed the name. They're still here. The Sean Dodson. Yes, I didn't see him. I've heard the names, but I didn't see them. Didn't know what they did. They were before I got into the chase. Like I say, I came in just before. Well, I say just before. AGK stopped. So they went, and then it was Cow Lazars and Capro. Ah, there's another one. Hi, Golden Key. Godelkin. He's another one I'd like to meet. There's quite a few. Hooskadoo, otherwise known as Hooskadoo. I wouldn't mind meeting him. There's too many to name, and don't feel offended if I haven't said your name, because obviously I would. If you're in chat now, I've spoke to you a few times, and definitely, flip side shows what. Is that Sean Dodson, the flip side? Not 100% sure. Digging Gypsy. I don't know. Quite a few. All those people in that interview in 2013. Was it 2014? November 3rd, 2013. When those questions seem to be staged. Do you find yourself doing a loop? That woman's dangerous. I asked them, have you got an airplane? I didn't take a radio. Tigger, that's good. Stay away from snakes. Oh, David L will tell you about snakes. Desert Farm? I don't know that one either. I've heard of them, these people, but I don't know. Man in the Barn? I don't know that one. Radio Tie. Scott Conway. I've heard his name, but I don't know. I might have seen a couple of times, but Rambling Pam. She probably did 1 or 2 videos when I came in, and that was it. Gone. Heard her name, Wonder Hussey. Saw a couple of her videos. She was quite pretty, I think, if I remember. She disappeared. It's got some huge hole. Man on the can. Barbara, yeah, I want my meeting Barbara. I've already said that, I think. Okay, in chat, who is a person in the chase that you would like to meet? Not Forrest Fenn. Not somebody you already know. Fendi! Howdy doody. Yes, definitely want to meet Fendi. How you doing, mate? Bear. So write down who you would like to meet that you don't. You don't have to say me because I'm asking the question, but who in the chase you would like to meet that you haven't met? That's about Susan. Because she just cool. I'm not sure. Well, she may have done. I thought she said somebody else was talking to her about it, but. Since FF is gone, I want to meet Shiloh or Zoe. Yeah, I don't mean so you can have an argument with them. Someone that introduced Luli Bell. I'd like to meet Luli. The Finder. Oh, that's cheating, Tigger. Susie's nice. Yeah, Susie's nice. I like the Who's Sisters as well. They were fun. Jack. Just say Jonathan Stoof. Hmm. Would I like to meet Jonathan Stoof? Of course, I'd like to meet him, but is he the most that I would like to meet? MJ's covering all bases. MJ, there seems to be a theme here. They're all ladies. Susie, Lulibelle, and Shelley. Vanessa Forrest. Jenny Kyle. Yes. It's funny enough, I was talking about Jenny Kyle to Davy B and saying how important she was. Whether she knew about the chase or not doesn't matter. But the fact that it did the 6 questions, that did. Zoe or Kelly, yeah. So no one want. I want candy. Candy's good. Ah, Ben and Ashley. So Shakey's poor woof. Good Hoosker. Zoe, Jenny was more important than Dale. Yes, Jenny's more important than Dale. Richard Rutherford. Yeah, I'd love to meet Richard. Why'd you call him Rutherford? Thanks, pirate. You're a good man. Or lady. Or person. I don't know what to say anymore. Right, 6 hours on the phone. Wow. So, is that saying that you'd like to meet Zoe because she has the answers? The whole bunch of big. Yeah. So, Man Alone was great. Very smart. Kelly. So I noticed nobody says Toby. So it was nice of him. First the broken, then just the dissolution. Yeah, of course you. Thanks, who's good. I wasn't doing it to have somebody, say me, but thanks for that. Davy being his pet kangaroo. Yeah, I think we all know that you're mad. Hopefully that'll wear off. I understand why you're mad, but hopefully it'll wear off. Valerie, what? Now you're being silly. Cynthia. So yeah, Cynthia would probably be after Forrest and Davy. I would like to meet Cynthia. And that's, obviously purely chase related, but, you know, somebody said 3 women. There's plenty of women in the chase that I would like to meet. And, it's amazing how smart and pretty some of the women are. Crazy, crazy. Susie, Susan Poderson. Don't know that one either. You want to pet his kangaroo? Wants to have a boxing match with him, Huska. You know what them kangaroos are like. No. The artist of the illustration. Oh, that's a good one, David. That's a good one. Um, Thinking about that, Forrest said something about a certain lady being able to do pictures and Photoshop or stuff. Thought she might have been behind the stoof.com. The key, two different things. Ah, David, did you see the cheese? Come closer. So yeah, I'd like to meet Cynthia, but I think the smartest person. Well, they're all smart. Um, Indy smart, Christy smart. Susie smart. Hmm. Great influence children. Yeah, that was a good story about the dive that they did on the government intervention type thing. Whatever happened there. I don't want to go into too much detail. Mahomes and Martin. I think the people in chat now, um, even like I think I know who Huskadoo is, but even if I know who Huskadoo is, I don't know if his name that I think it is the real name anyway. So it'd be nice to meet people and actually know who they were. Like the Key, Tigger, Redneck Express, Five Leaf Blaze, Pirate are obviously not real names. You know, David Paisano might be a real name, might be, but it'd be nice to meet people and say, hello, my name's Mario, and you are. Although I've got to be honest, me and David B, we sort of read what they say in chat and try and work out who they could possibly be in regards to the people that aren't aren't you know noticed, aren't on a YouTube channel or something. It could be in the background. So, like Zoe Kelly, Charlotte, Dal, Cynthia. I think I could probably have a good chat with Mike. He seems, clued up on same subjects. But so does Street, aliens and stuff. For the most part, most people are really smart, really nice. Yes, that's a good statement. For the most part, most people left are really smart and really nice. Even if we have different souls, we can still get along. Yeah, that's what Forrest said. Can't we all just get along? That's what I mean, Pirate. Huskadoo is not Huskadoo. He really is Huskadoo, but he's also somebody else who is who is still Huskadoo under a different name. What, Nikki? Hey, hey, what you want to know? See again. Um, another name that's possibly a real name, but possibly not a real name. But would love to meet and have a proper introduction. Most metal, most metal are women. That's what I said. No, he was really smart. That guy on YouTube from Japan. And yes, he was really smart, and he would always be polite and say, hello, Forrest, and that. Who's Skidoo to me? Well, that's because you might be Who's Skidoo. You might be Pirate, Who's Skidoo, and somebody else. And somebody else and somebody else. Was he book smart or boots on the ground smart? I think he was one of the smarts that Forrest was expecting. Or, anybody could have entered the chase. And we all have different mindsets. And that, I did a video about, depending what star sign you are, could say what sort of person you are, and that might say what sort of solve you might come up with. And, that just on its own is 12 or 13 different people. And then you times that by how many people in the world, and you can get a few thousand souls. And that means if that's the case, 300,000 people go. Probably the most souls would be 1,000 in those 4 search areas. There'd be probably 1,000 places or more, 2,000 places, 3,000 places. That would be the most souls that you could have, and then those souls would double up. So you're not telling me that out of the 300,000 people went, all those souls doubling up, if it was out there to be found, using the solves that people were doing, it would have been found. Absolutely. Doesn't matter what your solve is. Absolutely doesn't matter what your solve is. Somebody would have used a different method to get to the same place and would have searched where you searched. Not on the same day, but they would have searched the same area. And none of you found it, which is, one of the things that I thought of when I realised, 8-9 years had gone and nobody's found it. Then obviously what people are doing is incorrect. Must be, otherwise it would have been found. You can't have 300,000 people going with only so many warm waters halts, so many canyon downs, so many whatever. Was oh, cool. I like that. But in my CV. Yeah, I was involved thinking about having a different name. I wrote to Forrest under my name, and then when I went into chat, I wrote under my name because I don't want to hide and say something good or bad, and not be recognised for it. Criticised if I'm incorrect, and praised if I'm correct. Same thing. Who's good don't? Yes, I think we'd all want to meet you two. You two. Or you one. Who's could do is Charlotte. No, who's could do definitely is not Charlotte. Definitely not Charlotte. Yeah, the hard part is, well, and even in America, I'm not just saying this because I live over here. It's a fair few hundred miles from one side of America to the other, so it's still possible that even though you all live in the same country, it's not possible to see each other. But I would hope that at one point, even if it meant that you had to go from, the west or the east or the north or the south to the center. So, maybe Wyoming, maybe Arkansas, maybe Oklahoma, where my sister lives, or, that sort of midlish area. So, you don't have to travel all the way from one side to the other. But it'd be good for those people in the middle, but Not so good for those on the outside, but at least it make it more possible. So anybody out there who's a solver who becomes rich, just flies all to the same place. I think K-Pro's an astrophysicist, isn't she? So you want her to go? Yeah, I think Huskadoo would be great to have anyway. I don't know about that. I think you need Woody Allen for that. Probate update 11/22/2023. Isn't that gone? The 22nd is gone, hasn't it? Oh no, that's the 10th. No, it's the 11th. It's gone. It's the 27th now. That was 5 days ago. White oak is best. Jace Inc. should throw a big party and bring everyone in. They got deep pockets. Chump change for them. Thanks, Key. Yeah, I think, I like the thought that everybody's a winner. I like that thought. And I wouldn't mind going to America again. I wrote a list about some of the places that I'd like to see, but it just went on and on and on. I mean, obviously, America's a big place and famous for lots of different things. So, yeah, it was a long list. Is Shiloh on? On where? If he is, you all best go. Because you better speak to him than me. Probate ended Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday gone. Oh, cool. Now let's hit in the Red X. Jace Inc. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think, and by everyone, in my mind, I mean, oh, Davio, yes, flipping heck. Yeah, definitely Davio. He's definitely a cool dude. K-Pro's not. See, I'm good in. I thought K-Pro was, part of NASA something. Kid. Oh, there was a kid in the chase, wasn't there? I can't remember who that was now. You spoke, Nikki. That's cool. You said, "What's happening?" Didn't you? Isn't that a hello? Or was that a particular what's happening? There's not much happening. I was just talking about the letters and us searching for the spot, which could be, Forrest said that happiness was the pot, so therefore there's pots of happiness. Each one of us has a pot, and there's lots of pots, so that's the spot. Then in the chase, we would have our options. So Troy opts for his solve. I opt for mine. Davey B opts for his. So there's spot again, OPTS. Then you have the best solve, which is the tops, which is SPOT. Again, then you have the spot, which is what we're all, needing, which is SPOT. Then you have post, so it should fit on a post-it note. And if the solve does get to be a post, the chase would stop, which is also SPOT. So 6 words using the letters SPOT. And Mother was looking out the window waiting for the postman, which is a load of letters. So within the chase, it's possible that a load of letters would give you the answer, or a answer. And I believe that in the book, there's a eulogy. Is it eulogy? I wish I could have lived to do the things I was attributed to. could be a possible answer because of the letters involved in that. And, the letters could play a part in all of this. And it could be a bit part, it could be, massive. So, without understanding that Forrest said, words don't mean what you think they do. I looked up all those words, etc., etc. And I built that poem. Well, I don't think he built it on words. I think he built it on letters. So, waiting for the postman getting those letters would hopefully at some point get the spot. And that is the important thing. You were searching for the spot, not a chest of goodies. And the chest of goodies was going to be donated. It was going to go back to where it came from, Smithsonian or wherever Forrest said. So there was no searching for a chest, or shouldn't have been. I'm getting ready to retire for the night. Yes, thanks for coming, Sophia. I am as well because it is 2:32 here, not 2:42, like 2:4 to walk. So I appreciate you coming. Well, I appreciate everybody, and I think I should be going as well. And plus, oh no, have I moved into Ben and Ashley's time? I better go anyway. I don't want to upset them, and I don't want to, stop you lot getting the information that you deserve. So I do. Froze. I thank you, 25, for being here, for your kind words and your conversation. What spicy lamb of butter? Do you think the solution should be paid to the solver? Don't you think the solution should be paid to the solver? So what the answer is should be paid to the solver. I think, as I said to David B, if Forrest wants to take it with him, I would be fine with that. If Forrest wants to give title, I'll be fine with that. If there's other things that have to happen, I'll be fine with that. If it was me and anybody else should, I think, be the same. This was all Forrest doing. So whatever he had intended will happen, and whatever that is, I'm happy with that. Who's Your Sister's brilliant. I love them. They're so funny. Interesting. Something. You're going so quick. I don't know the part of all this. Probably chase chat, sex. Wow, you are really rough. Sam Smith was in the church since 2008. Yeah, way before me. It never mentioned that in bullshit. Must have been. Everyone have a great night and week. Yes, thanks, Troy. Everybody do have a great night and a great week. Thanks, Pirate. All good. Yeah, everybody take care. Again, I appreciate you, spending time with me. Probably not the best thing that you could do. Cheers, Redneck. Appreciate that. Yes, hit the thumbs up when you go. Only because, Troy said so. It doesn't matter whether I get, I'm not about having a massive following with a big YouTube channel, but it's nice to know that people appreciate the time. Thanks, INFJ. Thanks for being the first in. Thanks for always being, supportive. It's good to know that you're there. Yeah, good luck with the test, Troy. I think the solver thinks dirt in the Well, I think the Caliph might know more than that. Thanks, Bill. Cheers, MJ. Troy. The Key. Cheers, Huskadoo. Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers, 5. All good. Richard. Hey. I didn't think you were in tonight, but thank you. It's all good stuff. You missed the happiness is the pot stuff. It's all good. Bill. I'll follow you. You too, they could do. Soon it'll all be virtual. I was just having a thought earlier today. With children today, all seems to be a mess. So if you went down the virtual route, you could buy them a virtual, thing they've got on their eyes, and then buy them virtual toys. And then all they had to do was put the goggles away, instead of tighten up the mess. So all the games that they play and all the toys that they play with can just be virtual. Therefore, no cleaning up to do and no, cluttering up the house. So somebody get in on that. Somebody do that. Somebody invent, even if they're just like games of Cluedo, Ludo, those sort of things, snakes and ladders, etc., dolls, whatever, cars, just virtual games. And therefore, there's no tidying up. Keep them happy for hours. Don't have to keep changing them. Just buy a different app. Hope you all warmed up now, Tigger. See you later, Sophia. David. Thanks for coming, Richard. I appreciate it. Oh, right. Yeah, I've had one. Like the phone and put the thing on. I think it's a good one, but I think that's the way of the world next, isn't it? Virtual toys, virtual things. So you could, you don't want smaller houses, but your houses wouldn't have to contain so much, so you'd have more room, more space. That's how I see it anyway. So I think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be a great way to go. Virtual's good anyway. That's the world's meanest border agents. So thanks everybody. I hope Ben and Ashley are going live for you. Take care. Ciao for now. When it works. I need a new computer. Ciao for now. See you later.